website called All About the Tea.
He told All About the Tea that during the fight,
Hey, teacups, can you hear me? Comment in the chat.
A website called All About the Tea.
he told All About the Tea that during the fight,
Hey, teacups, let me know if you can hear me in the chat. Just comment with a thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay, good. It looks like everyone can hear me. Merry Christmas Eve, everyone. Listen, I just had to come on this app and kiki with y'all about the latest RHOP drama. Okay. So Jamal Bryant sent Monique Samuels a cease and desist letter. I'm sure y'all have seen the headlines. And Monique and her husband, Chris, sent Jamal a cease and desist letter in return, demanding he stop defaming them. And Chris Samuels issued a 72-hour apology or a lawsuit would be filed. Chris Samuels is not playing. He did not come to play. Okay. For those out there that don't know, a cease and desist letter is a legally enforceable order, usually from a court. But a lot of times, you'll have your attorney draw up a letter, and basically it's a warning that if you don't stop doing some sort of illegal activity or slandering someone and spreading lies about them, they're going to sue you. So it's just like a pre-warning to let you know, cease and desist, stop what you're doing, or you're going to be sued. All right. So on Jamal's side, he's accusing Monique of defaming his character. According to Jamal, okay, he is really, really pissed that Monique went on the reunion. Y'all saw how she slayed on the reunion and exposed his cheating ways and called him Pastor Holy Whore. Now that really, really, really set him off, and he did not like that, okay? That really set him off. He was pissed behind that. He did not like being called Pastor Holy Whore. That really set him off and pretty much had a lot of the parishioners and the public going on his social media calling him Holy Whore. So he was a little embarrassed, right? On Monique and Chris's side, they claim Jamal lied on them when he made statements in his video. The video that he called cash register of receipts with the upside down binder, reading off a teleprompter. Y'all remember that video that I covered about 2 videos ago? So in that video, Jamal said that Monique's secret was out and that she had a baby with a trainer. He also said that Chris Samuels has a serious medical condition called CTE. Let me see everyone in the chat, right? I covered this about 2 videos ago. CTE is a serious medical condition that a lot of former NFL players are afflicted with. Chris Samuels, however, does not have CTE, but Jamal accused him of having it. Jamal also accused Chris of having anger management issues and insinuated that Chris abuses Monique in their home. He made that insinuation by saying, there's a lot of stuff going on in your home. He also accused Chris Samuels of assaulting a woman in Safeway. Now, I clarified the Safeway incident that happened 3 weeks ago previously, and I'll leave a link to that video down in the description box. But the woman in question is Sharice Jordan, and her and Giselle are just starting some mess and lying on Chris. But I clarified that. We talked about it 2 videos ago. Okay. He also claimed that Chris Samuels verbally attacked Giselle and Robin on the reunion. And he urged his parishioners to watch the reunion part 2, that we would see Chris verbally assaulting Giselle and Robin. But that never happened, right? I mean, actually, some stuff, the men appear in the reunion in part 3, and you will see Chris Samuels, but you won't see him verbally assaulting any woman on that cast. So that was another lie, right? I actually have the cease and desist documents, and I'm going to read them to you. All right. I'm going to read them to you. So like I said, Monique received a cease and desist from Jamal right after he published his video. In response to that, on December 21st, Monique's lawyer sent a cease and desist to Jamal, and I'm going to read it to you. It says, "Dear Pastor Bryant, please be advised that I have been retained by Mrs. Monique Samuels to represent her in regard to the cease and desist letter that you sent her on December 17th. Please direct all further communications regarding this matter to my attention. Your claims against Ms. Samuels in your cease and desist letter are false, have no merit, and are baseless by their very nature. Specifically, in your cease and desist letter, you claim that Mrs. Samuels falsely accused you of having inappropriate relationships with members of your congregation. This allegation, however, is false and has no merit, as Mrs. Samuels has irrefutable proof of your egregious sexual conduct with women you have been seeing for the past 8 years, as well as others." Then it says Exhibit 1. So in this cease and desist letter, they actually provided proof of what they're talking about. We'll get to Exhibit 1 later on in this video. I'll continue reading the letter from Monique's attorney to Pastor Bryant. Next, you allege that your phone number being released on national television during the Real Housewives of Potomac is damaging to you, as it puts you in a position of danger. However, Mrs. Samuels released this information, but Bravo censored your phone number when the reunion aired. Thus, there is and was no danger directed to you. I'm going to stop right there. We all saw the reunion. We all heard Monique say Jamal's phone number, but Bravo bleeped it out. We couldn't hear anything. We could not hear a thing. And, I also want to point out Jamal's cease and desist didn't even come from an attorney. It came from like his PR people or something. It wasn't even an official attorney letterhead. It was like on a PR letterhead. So he's not taking this thing seriously. He knows that Monique has proof that he has been fornicating and messing around with multiple women in the pulpit. I mean, this is not a secret. These things have been out. These facts have been known for very long, but he's just mad now that it's come to light on a international level, and he's embarrassed. And also on top of that, his job's being affected. There was a meeting that was held amongst the deacons and Jamal, and his feet was held to the fire. They told him to address this mess and, make a statement because it's making the church look bad. It's making him look bad. And he's also violating morality clauses in his contract. What are y'all saying here in the chat? Wow, play the video showing community throwing. What does it say here? Wow, play video showing community throwing monkey ass out of town. Plus that old show. Okay, which blogger? What are y'all saying here in the chat? Jamal has finally met his match. Yes, he has. I'm going to continue reading the cease and desist. It says, next you allege that, okay, so finally you stated that under Georgia law, it is unlawful for an individual to make deliberate statements that intend to harm a person's reputation without factual evidence or based on hearsay. It says here, see Exhibit 2. Monique's attorney providing more evidence. This may be a correct quote of Georgia defamation law. However, Georgia law does not apply here, as any comments made during the RHOP reunion were made in New Jersey, not Georgia. And I added that part. And therefore, Georgia law is inapplicable to this matter. So the reunion was taped in New Jersey. Bravo flew out the ladies out there. It was not filmed in Georgia. So any kind of Georgia law that Jamal is quoting in his cease and desist does not apply to this situation. I'm going to continue on. Nevertheless, the statements that Ms. Samuels made about you during the RHOP reunion are true, within her right to share, and are not a violation of any jurisdiction laws pertaining to defamation, libel, slander, or false light as established in the contract titled Appearance, Release, Voluntary Participation, and Arbitration Agreement. Okay, so I'm going to stop right there. What Monique's lawyer is talking about is the contract that Bravo makes all the housewives sign that basically gives releases Bravo and the housewives of any kind of legal liability as it pertains to the things they discuss on that show. Let me read some of the comments. Actual text messages aren't hearsay. Exactly. They're sure not. Exactly. Yes, come through, Monique's lawyer. The nasty pastor said he was single. Did Giselle hear that? I think she sure did. Jamal is not only a holy whore, but a media whore. I would agree with that as well. So I'm going to continue on. Section 7 of the contract that you both signed, meaning Monique and Jamal, prior to appearing on RHOP, states the following. Now, I want y'all to pay close attention to this part because it's a little insight into the housewives contract on all the shows. They all sign this and they release themselves of any liability. It says, I understand that I or other parties may communicate private, factual, or fictional information about myself that I might find humiliating or embarrassing, or that is defamatory, disparaging, or unfavorable, and that the depiction of such information may portray me in a false light. I consent to the inclusion of this information in the program and the exploitation of the materials, even to the extent such inclusion might otherwise constitute an actionable tort, meaning actionable legal action. See Exhibit 3 and number 7. So basically that's the contract. That's Exhibit 3 and 7. Jamal signed his rights away. When he decided to appear on that show, when he appeared in the scene with Giselle and the kids on the boat, at the restaurant, when he appeared numerous times on his phone, he signed away his rights to have himself depicted in any light that Bravo perceives as true. So really and truly, this is why the housewives can't sue each other. They can't. Bravo has top-notch attorneys, and they make these ladies sign airtight contracts. And apparently Jamal signed the same thing. So his cease and desist is, pretty much irrelevant. Okay, I'll continue on. Hence, you consented to the use of all statements made by any RHOP cast member or spouse about you, and even acknowledged that the factual or fictional information about you could be used by RHOP. Do y'all understand that part, what they said? They're saying if something is true or false, you signed off to allow the network to use it. So have a seat. I'm going to read some comments, put them on the screen. So Monique signed her rights away regarding any trainer news too. Pretty much. And she's not disputing the fact that she's upset that the ladies brought it to the TV show, but she's not suing any of the ladies for bringing it to the TV show. She understands her contract. She understands how reality television works. But at the same time, within each of the ladies, there is a line, right? It's not written in stone. It's not spoken, but there's this unspoken line or unspoken rule that we don't bring children onto the show. We don't bring, false narratives that we know to be false onto the show that involves breaking up a family. Yeah, you can do it, right? Yeah. I mean, Monique's not disputing the fact that these ladies, Giselle brought it on the show because that's what reality television is all about. But come on, have some compassion. You just don't, children and family are off limits. So Candace brought criminal charges against Monique. She did. She did. Criminal charges are a little different. It's not like a civil situation when someone says something about you. So that was kind of out of Bravo's hands. But trust and believe, I feel that Bravo is going to now start to revise these contracts a little bit, but at the same time, they have to stay within the law as well, because you can't tell someone if something criminally happens to you, like if you're, God forbid, you're sexually assaulted or you're knocked upside the head and beat up real bad, because Candace wasn't beat up real bad, but beat up really bad. You really can't tell an individual legally outside of a contract, right? We're dealing with the laws of the land that they can't go file a criminal report. Let me see here. I wonder, did Pastor Bryant make Giselle pay him for his appearance? I was told that there was some money exchange between those two. Yes, that's what I was told. He's trying to say he didn't sign any contract with Bravo. Of course he did. There is no way Bravo will have anyone appear on any of their TV shows without signing a contract, because they have to protect themselves legally. They don't get down like that. They don't operate like that. It's almost like when your child, you're trying to sign your child up for school, they want to make sure your child has all their shots, has a social security number and all their, paperwork right before they admit that person, because it's a legal thing. No, he signed the contract. He signed he signed his rights off to appear on that show, as well as his rights to have himself depicted any way Bravo saw fit. Yeah. Giselle did not say anything. She sat there and listened. No, Giselle brought the rumor to the show in her talking head confessional when she said the rumor is Monique and the trainer, had an affair and there was a child produced. She did bring that to the show. I think Giselle and Jamal had an arrangement for him to be on the show. She wasn't surprised that he's with someone else. Yeah, I agree with you. Yep. I'm going to continue reading the cease and desist. Moreover, Section 7 of the contract also states, further, my participation may cause me to be exposed to conversations or behavior of other participants that could be considered offensive, and I consent to being in such an environment. See Exhibit 3 and 7. This clause further acknowledges that you consented to be subjected to any conversations and statements made while participating in RHOP production. Do y'all understand what that means? He basically signed his rights away, and he knows it. The church came down on Jamal. Jamal was backed up against a wall, looking real bad and looking real messy. He didn't expect all this stuff to be exposed. I don't think he realized how messy his ex-wife was on that show. And as a result of his ex-wife being that messy, Monique did what she did because she was backed up against the wall. And because her lies about her were brought on the show, she was going to bring the truth about Jamal and Giselle on the show. It says here, what was the real benefit of Giselle bringing Jamal as a fake man? I mean, how could sis not know it would end bad? She really thought it wouldn't end bad. She needed a storyline. She thought that this was going to be the highlight of the season. Her and Jamal Bryant, Pastor Jamal Bryant, back together. And, you know, they would be the first lady. She would be the first lady again. And maybe he would propose. She really had this fantasy going on in her head. That was the man and her phone. Yeah, he was. Monique can actually sue for defamation. She can actually sue Jamal. Yeah, because of the stuff that he was saying about her husband and her, because she didn't have a baby with the trainer. Her baby, Chase, her youngest son, is with her husband. I mean, the boy looks just like Chris. And if they need to go to court and take a DNA, if they get involved in a lawsuit, Pastor Jamal is going to have to pay some coin. So I'm going to continue reading the cease and desist. Accordingly, any statements allegedly made by my client are protected under the contract, and you have waived any right to bring any action, meaning legal action, for violating defamation laws in any jurisdiction. Okay. Now on to the claims that Jamal made about Chris Samuels. He said Chris Samuels has anger management problems. He has a medical condition called CTE. He insinuated that Jamal beats up Monique behind closed doors. He said that Chris Samuels assaulted a woman in Safeway. And this incident happened 3 weeks ago, but it was no assault. I explained to y'all what happened in a previous video. I can link that down below. So now Chris, as a result of the stuff Jamal has said, is responding with his own cease and desist. I'll go ahead and read that to you. So this was sent to Jamal on December 21st by certified mail. Dear Pastor Bryant, please be advised that I have been retained by Mr. Chris Samuels to represent him concerning the salacious attacks you have made on his physical/mental health and character. Please direct all further communications to my attention on this matter. You have publicly spread falsehoods and disparaging remarks about Mr. Samuels to thousands of people through social media platforms, Instagram Live, see Exhibit 1, and the internet. Specifically, these malicious and false allegations include, but are not limited to, number 1, accusations that Mr. Samuels is physically and verbally abusive to his wife, Monique Samuels, because he has chronic traumatic CTE, basically. Number 2, allegations that Mr. Samuels verbally assaulted a woman in Safeway. Number 3, accusations that Mrs. Samuels cheated on her husband with the trainer. Additionally, you verbally threatened Mr. Samuels, insinuating you would come to his home to assault him physically. And you falsely claimed that you spoke with Mr. Samuels' pastor and teammates about these accusations, which we know is false. All right, y'all. Did y'all get that part? So in response to Jamal's cease and desist and his video, his upside down binder video, Chris Samuels' attorney is saying that you threatened to come assault him at his home. You claim that he had CTE. You claim that he abuses his wife and that his wife cheated. These are all false claims. All false claims. I'm going to drop the link below so we can have some people call in and join the chat because I like speaking with you guys directly. Let me see. It says here, I have a good question. Does Chris still talk to his teammates? Since Jamal wants to say someone told him about Chris's behavior, not only that, but Jamal lied about speaking to Monique and Chris's pastor. He never spoke to them. That was a complete lie that he made up. Hey, Tony.
Hey, I'm in. Cool. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You just got to turn your volume down a little bit. I hear a TV in the background too. Or
Trying to move it to a different area. Is it better now?
Yeah, it's a little bit better. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my opinion is that Giselle, since we all know the girl at Safeway is Sharice.
Right.
Sharice then told Giselle, and we all know Giselle add words. So she then told Jamal all these lies about what supposedly happened at Safeway, and he regurgitated them online. The man's a fool.
Yes.
He shouldn't hide. He knew all the stuff in his background. This is nothing new with him. I don't know why he would get on a show to be exposed. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't even understand why he would do something like that. The bottom line is this falls on Giselle.
Yep.
Giselle has always been in the middle of some mess. I wouldn't be surprised if she is the one that told Candace to invite Sharice, and then went back and told Monique, as we saw in the show, why did Candace invite Sharice? I thought you and Candace were friends, but you knew Candace invited Sharice because you put the bug in Candace's ear. She was in the middle of the whole Ray situation with the shirt. She was saying how Ray was sleeping with somebody, and it's every episode or every season, Giselle throws the rock and hides her hand.
Mm-hmm.
So at the bottom line is that Jamal, he made himself look like a fool going after Monique. He should talk to the last lady, and and they shouldn't have ran with that storyline. She was better off going blind dating or something where she was trying to get a man. She should never use that. That was stupid. So that's what I wanted to call it. So it's Giselle hands is all over this, and she's all quiet now, looking like a fool. And I really feel sorry for those girls because it's so much stuff on social media about their mother and their father. It has got to be embarrassing for teenage girls to have to go to school and be around friends and everybody know what's going on in their household. It's crazy. So that's what I call to say.
Well, thank you, honey.
Thank
and,
you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you as well.
Bye.
That was so fun.
Okay. So I'm going to bring Schoolboy on here. Hey, Schoolboy.
Oh Lord, why are we going through this to the Christmas holiday? Why would you
Girl.
admit you lied about your storyline? We all knew you was lying. My question is, why did you make him the focal point of the storyline? If you was gonna bring it in, at least lie like Sheree did. Yeah, you said you was fucking with Bob. We knew you wasn't messing with Bob, but you at least lied about the joggers. You know, you had a little bit something to mellow us. And you were still messy. Instead, you made him the focal, and you knew he was out here because I heard that the woman that he's messing with for 11 years knows Giselle very, very well. So I'm trying to understand that you know what your ex-husband is doing. So why would you do that? What was she trying to get from this is my question.
I think they just all live in a world of lies. And when you make lying part of your lifestyle, right? You do it all the time. You're so used to getting away with it. the lies just flow off your tongue like it's the truth, because they're lying for sport. It's a lifestyle. And, you know, they thought that they could pull this thing off. Never in their wildest dreams that they even imagined that it would backfire like this. After Monique had the fight with Candace, Giselle thought that Monique was done. She thought that she was out the picture, that they would ice her out the group, that Bravo would fire her, which has not happened. People, that rumor is false. Monique has not been fired. She's still employed by the network. As a matter of fact, none of the ladies have received their pickup letters yet, and no new contracts have been signed or even issued. So these rumors about Monique being fired are completely false. None of the ladies have been let go yet. And according to Andy Cohen, the cast is not going to change.
Why would they?
Right. Right. But when you live in a world of lies like Giselle, she just thought every season she has a fake storyline. She just thought, okay, this season was just going to be, you know, status quo, another fake storyline. But she, you know, it's like the story of David and Goliath, and she got slayed, you know.
I just don't see how these fans and people that go, y'all people that go to this church, and then I don't know how anybody sits underneath a pastor who ain't living right. First of all, you can't lead me to nothing when you ain't right. That I don't get that. And then these delusional fans out here trying to say, well, Monique's wrong, and you know, Candace is still talking trash every day about people. You don't know when to stop, ma'am. You really don't know when to stop.
It's clinical for her.
They're going to bring on the friend. You know, she got clinical issues, and I really want her to get the help that she needs, for real.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
She really needs help. Mm-hmm. But for people to keep saying that, Monique was wrong for putting her hands on her. Common sense. If somebody has said something defamatory about anything about your child as a mother, when you see somebody, it's on site. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you took the lie and you ran with it, regardless of whether I'm friends with somebody or not. If we fall out, I ain't finna spray you. I ain't even gonna tell nobody your business, because my loyalty to you, regardless of whether we are good or not, doesn't change. That's not for me to put your business in the street. I just have lost complete respect for Candace. I can't believe Candace is allowing Giselle to puppeteer her ass just as bad as Robin. I want Giselle and Robin gone. They do not have a storyline.
I agree.
I'm sorry. They haven't had a storyline in 5 seasons.
Yeah. I'm going to bring Thick Girl on with us, okay? Hey, Thick Girl.
Okay.
Can you hear us, Thick Girl? No, I'm going to take you back out. Let me bring Detroit Homegirl. Hey, Detroit Homegirl. You have your mic on mute. I'm going to bring Prince. Hey, Prince.
Hi, Monica. Oh my God.
Hi. How you doing?
I'm good. It's my birthday, and girl, I had to watch you today. Like every Monday, I watch you guys.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Monique is my girl. Being correct.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, Giselle didn't see this coming, girl.
Mm-mm.
She should have closed one eye and keep one open. She closed.
Yep.
And Monique just run through, and girl have the receipt. She's a cashier. Sorry, Pastor Jamal, you're not. She has the receipt, and let me tell you, it's not going to be nice.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It's sunny, girl.
Oh, I like your accent. Where are you from?
I'm from Jamaica.
Very nice. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
So do you think any of the ladies should be let go this season?
Girl, that's not a question. Robin needs to go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Robin doesn't have anything to contribute to this show. Like, girl, you're engaged. Yeah, we know that you're going to want to get married. That's it. Nothing else. What are you bringing to the show? Being a dog for Giselle? And to be honest, I don't know if I want them to let go Candace as yet, because I want to see where she's going with this. Because she's playing dumb. She's playing dumb. people need to realize that Giselle was the one that put things in Monique's head also. Remember those first episodes?
Yep.
She was the
Yep.
one putting things. Oh, did you hear that Candy say this? Oh, Ashley told me this. Even
Right.
at Ashley dinner, she was the one that put stuff into Monique's head. So she's the center of everything. And I think the network wanted her to do that.
Oh yeah, she's their pawn. They really like her, the producers, because they whisper things in her ear and she rolls with it. She'll do anything the producers tell her to do. There's never any pushback.
She need that money to make finish that cabin house.
Right? Yes, yes. Well, thank you so much for calling in and happy birthday.
Thank you for having Monica. Love you guys.
Thank you. You need to call back in more often, okay?
I will, girl.
Bye, bye, boo. Bye. All right, y'all. Schoolboy, stay on with me. I am going to read some more of Chris's Samuels cease and desist to Jamal Bryant. Okay. So page 2 says, it is ironic that you accuse Mrs. Samuels of maliciously spreading inaccurate and unfounded information that is damaging to your personal and professional character, yet you are exhibiting irresponsible and offensive verbal abuse towards Mr. Samuels. And you made these statements with reckless abandonment and total disregard for the validity and truthfulness of said statements. Your disparaging remarks are egregious and injurious to Mr. Samuels as a private person and as a public figure. These statements are not an appropriate representation of someone who considers themselves a minister of the gospel or consistent with the vision of New Birth Missionary Baptist Church to love, live, and lead like Christ. And I oop. I'm gonna add Soul Debonair to the stream. Hey, sweetie, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
I can hear you very well. Yes.
Okay.
Give me your comments on that last part of the last part I just read about Jamal not being very Christ-like and acting like a minister.
He's not, and it's really weird because Giselle had that whole moment when Monique was trying to, apologize to them about his image. But what is his image saying now with all the social media stuff going on? I mean, is this the image that he wants to portray to everybody?
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't understand even how they can even have another season with these same girls on the show at this point, because so much is going on. And because Candace and Giselle and Monique are all in this place that they're in, like no one's stopping. No one is like, hey guys, like, okay, it's enough.
Right. They're going to have
ratings, and it's going to bring the spark of drama, and Bravo needs it. If you look at all the different franchises, even Beverly Hills got dry. Why do you think they brought Kathy Hilton to bring drama? You get to a point where, okay, you packaged and you've done so many storylines, it gets recycled, and so you need something else. The only issue with this is that this is going to get highly annoying for the fans, and this is further going to keep the fans in the mess online, because the comments online have been just out there, especially on Twitter.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've been posting on my Facebook page, and like the comments are crazy. The other thing that I want to point out is, they keep on saying that Monique is lying, but no one has really pointed this out, but Candace did this whole thing about how, this story can't ride because the baby is definitely Chris Samuels, but now she's on the reunion saying that this story is true. Which one is it? Because you told them originally that it can't be true, and now you're taking all these jabs, and every time that Monique says anything, she's like, no, it's true. We're tired of your lies. Like, is she lying or is she not lying?
Right. They keep going back and forth and contradicting themselves.
Yeah. But they're only pointing out the fact they feel like Monique is lying, which, production must love Monique. because every time that they keep on saying that she's not telling the truth, production proves that Monique is. I mean, this is what she's saying. And the other thing that I didn't like was why would Giselle have this whole breakdown about how Candace should have her own personal time to adjust to, you know, what's happened to her, but they never gave Monique that. You know, they immediately after this, they wanted her to give an apology. They wanted her to have remorse. But if it takes Candace time to process it, why wouldn't it take Monique time to process this?
Right. Exactly. Because they hold Monique to a different standard. You know, they can do and say whatever they want, and it's the truth. But as soon as Monique opens her mouth, it's lies, and she's not making any sense. They always do that. They always trying to shut her down.
And it's basically because
how are they going to wrap? Okay, now that this has broke out into a scandal, how are you going to wrap this storyline up?
Right. And it just boils down to me as
What's
jealousy.
the conclusion to the storyline?
The conclusion is that they're jealous of Monique because outside of Karen, Ashley, and Monique, they're and I mean Candace is a housewife, but these are women who have been housewives for years. They've lived a housewife life. And
Right.
so Giselle and Robin and Charisse have pinpointed Monique because to them, she is the epitome of what a housewife is. They can't do this with Karen. Karen is not going to have it. And because of who Karen is, it would just make them look really bad. Because Monique was the new girl in town, she now basically puts them on a lower totem pole of a housewife. And so they want her off so that they can basically have Karen and do what they do with Karen by themselves. But I mean, it's not going to work.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's not going to work with Monique. I mean, they do what they do to Karen. She'll take it. She'll eat it. But then she'll come back in with the real old school slick shade, which is nice. But Monique is straight gangster. She's not having it. They know they can't even attempt to try it with her. She's not having any parts of it.
And I think the worst thing that they did to themselves was ice Monique out because she had all that time to sit here and gather her entire life. So every scene that she wasn't in, every episode that she wasn't in, this reunion is going to basically give her what she needed throughout this whole time. They're asking her, Andy wanted her to break down and cry about the situation when she called these ladies and asked them to come to the podcast and see her progression of what's been going on, but they didn't want to come around to it. So now you want her to cry a year later on a reunion? That doesn't even make any sense.
No sense at all. I mean, she's done that. That's in her rear view.
Yeah,
she's been to therapy.
2 years old, and Candace need to really stop with the crying and the post-it notes. I really want Kleenex to go ahead and give her a sponsorship because it's really unnecessary. 2 years, you going to therapist, so stop wasting the therapist's time because you ain't done nothing to elevate yourself at all. You are still nasty. You are still a gutter snipe. You still online talking stuff. And then when people put their hands on you, you want to be up here crying and calling ambulance chaser lawyers. I need you to sit all the way down. I'm tired of her. Grow up.
Did you see the karma of what she got when she had to break down and cry on the reunion? When the people on social media gave her right back what she's been giving everybody else. They were calling her a rat and all these other things, but she was calling Monique a hood rat and she's calling Ashley a roach. Why is it so traumatic when they're calling it to you, but it's not traumatic when you're doing it to everybody else?
Preach.
Because she needs therapy, and Dorothy fucked her up. Excuse me, Dorothy screwed her over emotionally to the point that she cannot have relationships with other women and know how to be a friend. She needs help, and I really need her to get that and get off reality TV.
And I think the only way that this will work is if she needs to go through a spiritual journey like Dr. Heavenly did at this point, because there's no way that we can watch her on television and really believe her. Like, she's cried so much. But as soon as she gets on TV and Monique is talking, it's like it's a trigger for her. She can't quit spewing out garbage out of her mouth. And then when they ask her about her own personal story, she can't even talk.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Hey, Teacups, if you like the video and you like the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Please hit that subscription button for me. All right, sweetheart, you have a Merry Christmas.
You as well.
Y'all want me to come back on live Christmas, the day after Christmas?
Yes.
Okay, I will be here the day after Christmas. I will go live and update you. We can talk Kenya Moore and Portia Williams. Those two have been going at it. I know, right? Some more mess. Oh my goodness. All right, sweetheart. Hang out in the backstage. I might bring you back on, okay?
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and bring
And somebody asked me in the chat, did I believe that Jamal has a 1-year-old? If y'all watch Larry Reed live, which Larry Reed got all the church tea, he does have, I think Jamal, he said Jamal has 12
Hello,
children total.
Monica.
Hi, Jayla.
How are you doing, Lovey?
Good. How are you?
I'm
Schoolboy,
doing baby.
Schoolboy, you are absolutely correct. Jamal does have a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old. The 1-year-old is
Hey, I'm just get
Yes.
right into it, baby.
okay. Can you hear
I've
us?
been watching this show since the first season. And what I don't like about it is when they got ready to. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, I can hear. We can hear you. Mhm.
Okay, baby. When the first reunion came out, I take my hat off to Monique. Hands down. I take my hat off to her because she's the first woman that ever been on this franchise had ever had a binder and had every receipt for every person. You know what I'm saying? And to think about that, the thing is, they treating her the exact same way that they did Nene. You know what I'm saying? And I was so pissed off how Andy did the way he did it, the same way with the um part 2. I was so pissed off where I want to go through the damn TV. Oh, did I cuss? I'm sorry if I cuss.
That's okay.
I'm sorry because I'm cussing, but I just don't like how the whole thing is setting up and how he playing like as if Candace ain't did nothing. I want that little girl so bad. It's pathetic. How she's sitting up there, keep constantly crying, and then next 5 minutes she turn around, the damn tears don't dry it up. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, how you gonna go from playing the victim and then turn around being Mr. Jack and Mr. Hyde at the same time? You know what I'm saying? Make it make sense.
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
seen your last live when you talked to his baby mother, one of the ladies that he was with for 8 years. I give
Girlfriend.
kudos to her because she didn't
Mhm.
have to do what she did, but she did. You know what I mean? She
Mhm.
she really did. And ain't too many women's gonna step up to the platform and say the things that she said about Jamal. Jamal, he's another a dog for what it is. You see what I'm saying? But at the end
Mhm.
of the day, he's not thinking about the kids that he already have. They got to deal with that. If the fact that they going to school and all this and that and the other, he ain't worrying about their feelings, how they gonna be affecting them. You know what I'm saying? It's all about him and everybody else, whatever he's doing in the background. And the mother, Giselle, oh girl, she's a piece of work. She's a piece of work. She's a piece of work. And it to me it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, and I hope like hell they don't bring her back. Robin as Robert and Candace crybaby ass. Excuse
Mhm.
my French, but
Mhm.
I'm just so pissed off because all this going on, I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. I really don't. I really don't.
Mhm.
And I hope she get every last one of their asses too, one by one. Because what's in the dark will shows it will definitely shine. Believe it or not, it will shine. Because Trump is
Mhm.
something else.
Mhm. All right, honey. Thank you for calling in and Merry Christmas to you.
Same to you, Lovey.
Bye. Schoolboy, you were saying some stuff about Jamal's 1-year-old.
Yeah, well,
Schoolboy,
see,
you
I caught my mama be telling me, yeah, my mom caught me and told me, well, hey, watch Larry Reed because he has his live on. He was breaking down everything. And he was saying, backing up Tanya's story when she did the Live with You interview because he had spoken to her before and he has all the same receipts. There's multiple bloggers that have the same receipts that Monique has. This is what I don't understand where Jamal is talking about his lies. Well, why does all these bloggers have the same receipts? But what he was saying is yes, about a 4-year-old. There's a 4-year-old, which is his son, and then he has a 1-year-old named Zuri in Fairfax. He's never done a DNA test on that child, but that is his child because the little girl, they say, looks just exactly like Jamal. The mother is paid every month. He gives her child support, but he's not actually on like child support paperwork. They say there's like 4 other children in the pipeline that he has between Baltimore and like the Baltimore, Virginia, New York area. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. That's just allegedly, but from what Larry Reed said, it's almost approximately about 12 children in total that he has.
Good God.
So
Oh, my
these
goodness.
last set of children, I think were kind of all knocked up around the same time with different women. Those women have not come forward, but what he's doing is, instead, so it doesn't get out or get in the court system, he's paying them monthly on the side. My question is, how long is paying them on the side gonna work? Because they said some of those kids he don't even have a relationship with. He just drops a check.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead, girl. This tea is just too hot, too piping hot. I'm gonna go ahead and add Jersey to the chat. Hey, Jersey. We can't hear you. Hi. Can't hear you. Take yourself off of mute or turn your volume up or check your settings. Can't hear you. I'll leave you in the backstage and we'll come back, okay? All right. I'm going to add CC Freak to the stream. Hey, CC Freak.
Hey, how you doing? How's it
Good,
going?
how are you?
I'm all right. How you doing, schoolboy?
I'm good.
All right, these are my thoughts on this situation. The problem I have with this whole entire group, first of all, this all started from Giselle since season 1, before Monique came, when she outed Sharice as a fireman, dating a fireman. So when Monique came along and then Giselle hazed her, they both teamed up and brought Kendall. This has all been a long chain of events, and it really makes me mad that this group has a tendency to try to gaslight and beat you down into making you feel something you don't. For example, at the beginning of the season, they tried to make Candace apologize to Ashley when she didn't feel like it. They tried to make Monique feel remorse when she wasn't ready to feel remorse. And they tried to make Karen feel like she had to choose a side when she didn't. I mean, she said she was neutral, but they wanted to make her choose a side. Now on the reunion, they're trying to make Monique feel remorse when she said, I've been through my emotions, but y'all didn't record that. So I just don't understand how they can do all this and want to put her feet to the fire. I don't like that. Hopefully because they said we're going to put a mark on this rumor situation. Hopefully that it'll still get talked about in the 90-minute one, because I wouldn't think that he would say put a pin on it and not talk about it in another later point in the show. I don't think they're done with that yet, And I also found out yesterday on Monique's Not for Lazy Moms podcast, someone asked the question, is the rumors about her being fired? She said really quickly, she got her contract already. So that basically means she's coming back for season 6. And I think that's a big slap in the face to all the Green-Eyed Bandits and everything. So I'm here for it. But that's pretty much it. Hello, can y'all still hear me?
I can still hear you. Yeah,
that's right. To the people that said Monique was fired, she is back. She is not fired. She is back. So we can put all those rumors and all those fake news that's been spread to rest. Monique is back.
She said it herself. This didn't come from no second information. She said it herself in her podcast. Y'all can watch her video and she will mention it.
Merry Christmas, love.
Merry Christmas to y'all.
All right. Bye. Schoolboy, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, honey. What were you saying?
No, and it has to be true to that, because I think it was it you or was it DJ Richard Scott was posted that Candace is upset because she's refusing to film with Monique. So that
Right.
means everybody got they letters to come back. So all of
I
those
don't think
arguments
everyone
people
got their
were, I
letters.
want Monique
I
off
don't.
the show. Y'all are not Bravo.
Right.
Yeah.
Not
So
everyone got
she's
their
gonna be
letters
back.
though. Not
So
everyone.
get over it.
Right. But Candace has no choice. I mean, her husband's unemployed. He fries fish and chicken out of their kitchen and sells plates. They need the money. They just purchased this new home that's close to $1 million. She is the sole breadwinner in that house. They need that RHOP check.
What does he do? Because he's in every scene. So he ain't got no job? Because he's in every scene.
He's unemployed. No, he's unemployed. He don't have a job. Mm-hmm.
So how's his baby mama's getting child support?
Candace pay for it. That's why she's not going to give up that RHOP check. When her saying she's not going to film with Monique, okay, fine. She don't have to film with Monique. But best to believe, if the producers direct her to have a discussion in a group setting, she can't just say, I'm not showing up. It's part of her contract. She got to show up.
Somebody pulled up some kind of old recording from Andy from like May of 2017 stating that Bravo does not force them to film with any other housewife, that it is not a requirement. They don't have to film with people that they don't want to film with. Is that true, or have they revised the contract since 2017? I mean, we in 2020 going to 2021.
They're not going to tolerate no childish mess. If there is a group setting and the producers want all the women to film together, best believe they're going to all film together. Now, Candace doesn't have to be in Monique's face talking to her. She can sit on one end of the table and Monique could be on the other end. They don't force you to actually interact, but you are in the same scene together filming, essentially. I'm going to see if I can add Jersey back to the stream. Hey, Jersey.
Hey there, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yes.
Thank you, finally. Just wanted to tell the viewers about cease and desists. Just because it's a legal document doesn't mean everything. A cease and desist is just there for you giving the person formal notice that I see what you're doing and I want you to stop, so that if they keep doing it and you take them to court, you now have a record of, I put you on notice to stop and yet you still came towards me. So a cease and desist on its own does not mean anything. I could send a cease and desist on you and it wouldn't even mean anything. Not that you did anything to me. Also, the cease and desist that Jamal sent them is very oddly written. He used the word ironic. Well, first of all, it sounds like a text message basically, but he used the word ironic, which has so many different interpretations. Any legal document, you want to make sure that it is explicitly clear what you are accusing them of and what you want them to stop doing to you. So I think he's just trying to write this out for all it's worth. And it makes me think of, he's not hurt or embarrassed by what's happening. He's trying to stretch out this 15 minutes.
Absolutely. So you would say a cease and desist is a warning, because that's like the first step you have to take before you actually file a civil suit. You send your attorney, if you're serious about it, your attorney sends the other party a cease and desist. It is a warning that if you don't stop the conduct, the slander, the defamation, the illegal behavior or activity, we are going to sue.
It's a warning and hope. If I legitimately want you to stop what you're doing, I'm going to send you that cease and desist to, first of all, get you to stop what you're doing.
Exactly.
Suing you is really second nature at this point. It's only when you keep on doing it that I'm going to start suing you.
Right.
But I think it's pretty clear now that there are so many different characters involved that there is no more hope for you not. It's already out there,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Do you think, Jamal's cease and desist came from his PR people. It didn't even come from an attorney. What do you think about that?
You can set, you should go through a lawyer to make sure that it is, true and proper, but anything, as long as that person knows that, hey, you and your identity are saying you're hurting me and I want you to stop, it doesn't need to come from a lawyer technically. It's just best if it does.
Right. Like if you are taking something like seriously, if you seriously want to notify the other party, you mean business, wouldn't you have an attorney draft the C&D, your PR person?
I would think so, especially, the pastor of a church.
Exactly. Where are you calling from? I like you.
I'm calling from New York.
Oh,
So, New York is one of the toughest states for civil law, which is what Jamal is accusing Monique of. One reason why the housewives can't sue each other, they signed a contract to do that, but Candace was able to sue Monique is because that was a criminal issue. You can't write a contract saying, if I murder you next month, then you can't do anything about it. Like that just doesn't happen. So that's why Candace was able to sue Monique.
okay. Wow. So are you an attorney?
Yes, I am.
Okay. We're going to keep you on the chat too. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to put you in the backstage, but I'm going to bring you back on in a little bit. Okay. Because I want to continue reading Chris's Samuels C&D, and then I'm going to bring you back on to comment again. Okay. All
Sure.
right. Hang tight. Okay. So Symphony Love, she wants to clarify something. Monique didn't say on her Not for Lazy Moms podcast that she got her contract already. It was a bad connection going in and out. She said no one got their pickup letters. See, that's what I was told too, that the ladies haven't even got their pickup letters. They don't even get those letters until maybe 2 to 3 weeks after the final part of the reunion airs. So yeah, just for clarification, no one on the cast has gotten their contracts yet, but it's very likely Monique and the other ladies that are there now are going to be let go. Andy said the cast is going to stay intact. All right. I'm going to continue reading some more of Chris Samuels' cease and desist to Jamal. So it says here, under Georgia law, a cause of action for defamation consists of 4 elements, and it basically breaks it down. I'm not going to read all that. Accordingly, we demand that you immediately cease and desist from continuing to spread these defamatory claims through any outlet, including the press, social media, the internet, and direct conversations through messaging or phone. We require that you remove all defamatory posts on social media, Instagram Live, the internet, and the press, and that you cease all conduct of this nature. Okay. My client demands a public apology within 3 days of receiving this letter, and you are hereby put on notice that my client has given us authority to exercise every legal action available to him if you do not cease from continuing to publicly and privately spread malicious, defamatory, slanderous, and libelous accusations involving Mr. Samuels. Okay, y'all. Did y'all get that? Jamal has 3 days to publicly apologize. And this letter was sent out on December 21st. So that would be today, right? The 22nd, the 23rd, the 20. Okay, well, let's just give him until, I guess, Christmas Day is the deadline. I'm going to bring Jersey back on. Jersey, did you hear that?
I did.
What are your thoughts?
So what Chris is what this is on behalf of, correct? To Jamal?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
okay.
This is Chris's cease and desist to Jamal.
So this is a cease and desist in addition to something else, which is not quite legal. So there is a part of cease and desist. Chris asked Jamal to stop what you're doing, to cease, and to desist, to not keep doing it and get the hell away.
Right.
What Chris has done also is he's put in a stipulation of apologize in 3 days, I think is what you said, or else things would happen. That part is not admissible. A cease and desist is just like, stop what you're doing.
He said if you don't publicly apologize in 3 days, Mr. Samuels has authorized me to take further legal action.
So that is the lawyer telling Jamal that, hey, if you don't do this, then I will initiate that. But the lawyer has the right to do it right now if they want to. A cease and desist and anything like that is just basically, hey, I'm serious. I'm going to do something about this. So stop what you're doing. And for the lawyer to put something in there saying, unless you do the public apology, then I'm going to, unleash everything onto you.
Oh my goodness. This is getting very deep. Okay.
And the Georgia law thing has nothing to do with anything, by the way. Just because Jamal was in Georgia when this stuff happened to him doesn't mean anything. It's about the state where the civil issue really existed, which is where they filmed the reunion.
Well, Chris's lawyer is talking about Jamal making a video in Georgia. See, Jamal had made a video where he claimed he put the video out last week.
Yeah, the upside down binder.
Right. And in the video in Georgia, he claimed that Chris Samuels had CTE. He beats on his wife. He has anger management issues. He verbally assaulted a woman in Safeway. So Chris's lawyer sent their own cease and desist to Jamal, apart from Monique. Yeah.
Got it. It's Chris and Jamal both signed the same contracts that the housewives have to sign about them agreeing to civilians to basically say, I will not, whatever you do to me under civil law, I will not pursue charges against you from one citizen to another. Then I think Chris is out of gas. But for a lot of people, the threat of legal action is what is really, really important, because you can drag this out for a long, long time and just drain money from people just to get what you want.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. You're going to need to call in more often. All right. Merry Christmas. All right. Elle Wood said, what happened to him working at the barbecue restaurant? I thought he owned the place. No, honey. Chris Bassett never owned that barbecue place. He only worked there, and that place was he was let go a long time ago. I mean, and they pretty much had to slow down on operations due to COVID. So he's been unemployed for quite some time. Schoolboy, are you still there?
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this: I date a sous chef, okay, and right now she's in a totally another field, and she had her own catering business. So when COVID hit, anybody that was chefing or doing anything like that, personal chefing, because she's cooked for several of the Dallas Cowboys players, Dallas Stars player for the hockey team. I mean, that's all ended. I mean, you can still, if you are personal chefing, where you can go to someone's home, but you are also taking the risk of catching COVID because you have no idea if that person, if they've been okay or not okay in states that are really high. Like right now, I live in Texas and Dallas. Our cases are so high. That's a health risk that you don't want to take. So anybody saying that they have a business, a restaurant, I mean, hell, if Lisa Vanderpump closed her restaurants, that should tell you a lot. And she's not reopening them. They're taking too many hits. So, and Chris, there's no way he's still in. If he is, he must be doing a lot of private parties, because he got way too much time to sit up here and film with Candace. Way too much.
I agree with you. Yeah. Well, he has nothing else to do but film with Candace, and fry those fish plates and chicken plates out the kitchen. So, he's just doing the best he can during a rough time. But like I said, Candace is not going anywhere. If Bravo offers her a contract, she's going to take it. She is the primary.
Yeah. She got that house. Who going to pay for it?
Oh, yeah. She is the primary breadwinner. They have this mortgage. Although I heard Miss Dorothy is staying on a top floor in the house because, her name is on the deed anonymously. So, yeah, girl, that's the tea. That's the tea.
Did she pay so she didn't just give a fake plan. She gave a down payment too. Okay.
I'm gonna add thick girl.
Remember,
40.
Candace said on the reunion that her mother, all she did was give her them a plant.
I remember she said that. That means she lied. We're talking about Candace here. Hey, thick girl 40.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
Hey.
I told y'all Miss Dorothy was on that lease. When you spoke about it the first time and said it was somebody anonymous, I told y'all she bought more than that potted plant.
You sure did.
Why was she not? Where were they else gonna get the money from? They gonna stop paying child support?
And them houses is not all that out there in Maryland for the price. I'm from Baltimore.
No, it's not, because I live in DC. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not the $1 million homes. She lives next to the hood. How about that?
Oop.
And how you gonna be calling people hood when you got a silent A in your name? What did your mother put that A right there for? That's ghetto. That's what ghetto people do. Candias. What does that even? What? Girl, bye. Kleenex is not gonna give her endorsement. I was rooting for that at first too, but now they like, no, we ain't had not one black person sue us. You will not take our name down with you. No.
Right.
She can Vaseline for her dry eye. It's not gonna. Nobody's giving her anything. Why she never cried? I'm trying to figure out why her kids don't produce. If y'all know that she has never cried, not one time, except for the last 2 seconds of the
real.
Not a drop. Not a drop. Not a wet eye in the building.
Her and Kenya Moore got that.
But did y'all see her grab that tissue from behind her seat cushion? When she started to fake cry, she went right behind her seat and grabbed that piece of tissue. I thought it was going to be in the bowl, but it was behind the seat cushion.
Yes, everything everything to her is rehearsed and planned. Nothing is organic.
Yes, nothing's organic. Like, come on, can't be real. But Pastor Holy, I can't even call him a pastor no more. He's just holy whore. He down.
Yeah,
and all his congregants that believes his word, like they actually believe the things that come out of his mouth. They will go to bat for this man. And that's what he's banking on. Even though he told them to watch part 2, nothing happened. They still believe every word that he say. Your dad didn't even give him the real rundown of the reunion. She made him think it was coming on part 2. It's coming on part 3, dum-dum. Why do you believe anything she
they don't
say?
talk to each other. He don't want her. He don't want
right.
her.
I know
the
that.
man didn't even claim you.
Yeah.
I don't know what world she's living in. He don't want you.
He also told his parishioners he can sign a contract. I had my sister argue me down last night that he did not sign a contract. He said, girl, he is not coming on TV. He was on screen more than one time. Barbara is not leaning herself to that liability for no one.
No,
if you
appear on that, before anyone appears on their TV screens, they have to sign contracts and waivers. It's a legal thing.
Thank you, but he has his parishioners believing that I didn't sign no contract. I'm not going back. You're not going back, but you signed the contract.
Yeah, he said
you give them the rights to use your image and anything you say in perpetuity.
Image, likeness, all that.
I don't understand.
Absolutely.
So all your dirt, you should have thought about your dirt before you went on TV. That's what you get.
Absolutely. He said that he never liked reality TV. It was a point of contention in their relationship, but building
you needed
bridges,
the money, so you went.
Building bridges and trying to building bridges and trying to reconnect, brought him to the show, but he will never, ever, ever, ever appear back on that show again. Let me tell y'all something. After the mess Giselle got Jamal into this time, he is done with her. Done.
If he ain't, he crazy. And I will pay you any amount of child support. Just leave me alone. Just, girl, don't even know.
Child support is, I'm telling you, if he got all the kids he got, that child support
How
is
can this man pay all this child support?
Because he's not.
That's why his clothes so small, because he can't buy the right size.
All right,
he gives them cash. He's giving them a certain amount, so he's not on paper.
Okay, they take it off the offering plate.
Once you get after 2 kids,
they take it off the offering plate.
Once you get after 2 kids, I mean that's 30% of your check. So there's no way he's on child support for all them kids. No way.
No, yeah. Okay, thick girl 40.
And I don't believe Giselle gets alimony anymore.
Thick girl 40. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Thank you. I just wanted to say thank you for calling in, honey. You have a Merry Christmas. The backstage is getting really full up, and I just want to give everybody
thank you for the y'all. Thank you for the Christmas bonus thing also, Monica.
The giveaway. You're welcome. So
Yeah.
Thick Girl 40 was one of the winners. You're welcome.
So y'all keep on supporting All About the Tea. They do what they say they're gonna do.
Thank you, honey. Merry Christmas to you and your family.
You and everyone else. Y'all enjoy your day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye, honey. Bye. Okay, I'm gonna bring Mabel King on. Hey, Mabel.
Hey, Miss Monica.
Hey.
Oh, and
how are
Mabel
you?
follows me on Twitter. Hi, Mabel.
Okay, so schoolboy, don't have your girlfriend come beat me up, but you my girlfriend in my head. I love you. I don't know what it is about you, but I love you. My daughter over here laughing. Oh, hold on one second, Miss Monica. I just wanted to say hi.
Hi.
She wanted
how
to
are
get
you?
on today, Miss Monica. So
Hi.
my big thing with Jamal is this is his MO. He always sends a cease and desist. He does it with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
The minute you say his name, you got a cease and desist on your desk.
Yeah.
So people already know how he. I call it his MO. People already know how he is. He cannot not know how Giselle is. He was with the woman for how many years? Cheated on his first wife. He knows
12.
her behaviors.
Yeah, 12.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So he knows her behavior. Maybe he got a little bit blindsided, but if you know how she is and you know how unethical you are yourself, why would you go and start saying stuff that she's feeding you?
Yeah.
Because if Chris Samuels had confronted Sharice in any way, shape, or form, and she felt threatened, she would have immediately run to bloggers and production and everybody.
And
we
called
already know this.
And called the police too. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly, because that's a payday for her.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it just seems
Paper trail.
I mean,
Where's the paper trail?
The paper trail. He has to know who she is. I don't care what anybody says, and she knows exactly who he is. Exactly. She has no qualms. Like I made a comment to Miss Buffy the other day when I had called in on hers. I said, look, you can talk about people all day. And if I have a dude and he's a hoe, you can't talk about him even though he's a hoe. That's my job.
Mm-hmm.
It's nobody else's job. She knows who he is inherently, and he knows who she is. But I know your backstage is getting full. I just wanted to say that. It was nice to see Thick Girl 40 because I've never seen her. I know she was one of the winners. I was as well. And my daughter is so happy you guys really came through for me. I love this show. I love you. Schoolboy, I will be following when you tell your girl I said hi.
Y'all probably see some TikTok videos.
All right, I love you guys. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas to you too. Miss Mabel's a trip.
Merry Christmas. I love her.
I love her too. Okay, so I left this question up on the screen because I wanted to answer it. It says, you don't need a lawyer to send a cease and desist. Of course not. No, you don't. But listen, whenever I have sent a cease and desist to anyone, I use a lawyer because I mean business. And it's not cheap, you know? I mean, I hate doing it. And I try to avoid sending them at all costs because it's not cheap. Because my lawyer is not cheap. But I mean business when I send one, so I use an attorney. I wouldn't use a PR company. I wouldn't. That means to me, if I received a cease and desist,
is he not? Does he? So is he using the church as a term? I mean, like, so who represents him, or does he have his own personal, or what's up with that? Because I've always heard that that is his MO. He sends people cease and desist. That's what he does. But then he don't bust a grape after that.
I guess that's his MO. And from what I've been told in the past, he's used the church's attorney, but this time with Monique and Chris, he used a PR company, which, is a joke. That's basically, I mean, people that are involved in these type of things and understand law know when you get a cease and desist from a PR company, it's a joke. Someone says here, Heidi says, Monica, be careful, you might get one. I don't need to be careful because, listen, you can't sue me for telling the truth. The truth is not slanderous. It's not defamation. So that's why his case against Monique and, he didn't send one to Chris. He just sent it to Monique. It's frivolous. It's a joke.
I mean, he'd have to send the other 25 bloggers that have the same information that you had that Tanya sent them. There's other people that he needs to also send. I mean, there's no way. And you would have to prove, when you go to litigation, you have to prove that whatever evidence that the other party has is wrong. He has to prove that it's wrong. It's not wrong because it's valid. It's true. How you gonna? That's why I don't understand. Why is he even trying to play in court when you don't even have the money to be playing like that in court? Sit down. He should have hired the PR. Should have released a statement, and he should have never got his butt online. You should have sat there and ate your food. Why?
Yep. Some Symphony Love says the church probably wouldn't let him use their attorney. That's what I'm thinking too, because he used it in the past. But this time, you would think for big time celebrities like Chris and Monique Samuels, he would pull out the big guns and he would use the church's attorney, but he didn't. He used his PR firm. So
that's just and then so why the PR firm didn't admit the statement? Why did he get on live? I don't understand that right there. If they can send a cease and desist, why didn't they be the person that said, defended what was said on the reunion? Why did he have to get on there? Because he made a complete fool of himself.
Complete fool. I don't know. Threatening people, insinuating that Chris assaults and abuses Monique. I mean, he just put himself in a situation left and right. The lies that he told were just, to me, it's mind-blowing that he thinks he can go on social media and just spew these lies and no one would respond or retaliate or out him for it. It's just, to me, his arrogance just blows my mind.
It's because he's done it so much that I think he believes he's above it and that he's above reproach and that nothing's going to happen to him. But I mean, you reap what you sow, sir. So I don't know.
Right. Hi, Ashley.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can, but it's a little garbled a little bit.
Let me try. Okay, can you hear me now?
I can. Yeah.
Okay, so I was thinking when I was watching the reunion, I was listening to what you guys were saying. I found it really odd that Andy, Wendy, Robin, and Giselle were all trying to lie and try to minimize what Monique was saying. Because it's like, okay, so if you didn't watch the clips or you didn't pay attention to what's going on in real time, why are you so quick to try to downplay what Monique was saying? And I don't know if anyone else picked up on that because I was so confused as to why they were lying, essentially. And then production was counteracting what Andy and the rest of them were saying. So I'm wondering, if production is just trying to protect themselves to just show full transparency, or they're really on Monique's side. Because I don't think I've ever seen that before in any reunion.
I said this before. I said it on the recap. Andy pretty much reads off a script and a teleprompter at this point. He's not connected to the ins and outs and everything that's really going on. He's not reading the blogs. He didn't really know about Pastor Holy Whore's background. And when it came to the fight, he saw it once. I don't think he watched it in slow-mo again and watched it, clip by clip and really paid attention. He was just reading off a script. And then here you have production coming in with the video proof to back up Monique's statements. And it was just really and truly a magical thing.
It just made him look bad. It made all of them look bad.
Yeah.
And another thing that I'm not gonna take up a lot of time. Another thing that I peeped to that I really did not like was the fact that he was making like insinuations like Monique was broke or something. Like,
yeah,
that really bothered me because I'm like, you don't ask any other housewife or any other franchise where their money come from. Like, that was another thing that bothered me. And as far as Giselle is concerned, they're gonna keep her around because she is a puppet. And she keeps bringing storylines to the forefront. They're not gonna get rid of Robin because she need a puppet too, somebody to do her dirty work. Candace is problematic, and I'm kind of finding it odd that they haven't gotten rid of her yet for her homophobic statements, compared to other Bravo celebrities that were let go because they were making slanderous comments. So it's weird to me. It's like they're dealing with her with kid gloves, even though they see what she's doing on Twitter.
Right. That's good. Good point. Thank you for calling in today. I really appreciate your perspective. And you have a Merry Christmas.
Same to you.
Bye. All right. I'm going to add Plez to the stream. Hey, Plez.
Hey, y'all. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I have enjoyed all of the tea that you have been spilling these last few weeks. Monica, you are in overdrive. I have not liked Jamal Bryant, and I made a comment on the video the other night. I have not liked Jamal Bryant since he came to kind of national attention, because I didn't even know who he was down here in Louisiana until when he made the whole Chris Brown, these hoes ain't loyal in the pulpit, when he's the biggest hoe in the pulpit. I never understood how any Christian could want to sit under a pastor like that who made those types of statements in the pulpit. And then the more I heard about his documented history of adultery, fornication, and different things, yes, we're all human, but when you take on a calling and you say God called you, you have to move a little differently. And I don't know why Jamal would even, he's been on TV before. He had his preacher's talk show. He's dabbled in reality TV before. He knows what this game is. And I don't know why he would accept to come and put on this farce with Giselle. It's just really sad and laughable at this point. And I want the people at New Birth to really hold him accountable. He needs to be set down. But his ego is so huge, he can't take the constructive criticism that he really needs right now. These PR statements, like the other attorney you had on before, they're pretty much hot air. And the threats, I think he thinks he can, again, his narcissism lets him believe he can just bully people and throw his weight around. And I think he just finally met his match. So this is very interesting. I kind of hate watching the dumpster fire, particularly when the church is involved, but I can't take my eyes off of it. It's made for really good television. And in the, season of COVID that we've been in, we needed some good entertainment. So I'm glad the Housewives of Potomac were able to deliver.
Didn't Monique deliver though? Oh my God.
Monique, Karen, even Ashley. I enjoy Ashley's transparency. You all can say what you want about Ashley, but she and Michael Darby show up and account for themselves every time. I don't know if those are rehearsed statements, but they don't stutter. They don't and ah. They answer the questions, baby. Giselle doesn't know how to answer a question to save her life. She throws it all out there, and I was so glad at the edit that production gave. It really showed how Giselle manipulates and has been manipulating this whole situation. I compared Giselle to like the kid in the schoolyard. Y'all, everybody had this kid where there's, some beef going on, and this kid stands in the middle and says, "The baddest one hit my hand." That's Giselle. That's Giselle. She's a puppeteer. She gets it going, and then she stands back and lets it unfold, and then has her hands up. Not me. Not me. Wasn't me. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You were at that table telling Monique, Ashley and Candace and Sharice are getting really close. Girl,
I ain't mad at Ashley. She getting to the bag. She getting to the bag. Okay. She don't care.
She does, but then don't act like you're above the bag.
But I'm getting the bag because when I get tired of this, I'm gonna divorce your old ass and get my money and get on.
Right.
I'm not
absolutely.
mad.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Look, everybody has a different philosophy. We learned from the Players Club. You got to use what you want to get what you got sometimes. So, use what you got, to get what you want. So, I understand. Everybody has their role to play. The issue comes when you act like you're above the role. Giselle is on the show, actively not just participates in the mess, orchestrates the mess, and then tries to say, "Oh, Jamal and I have an image to uphold." Girl, to who? These delusional
But
church
Ples,
folk.
if you look at it, when Karen clocked her and said Giselle lives in her own world, i.e., the world that you have created for yourself of you and Jamal, because in reality you don't have all of this grandeur that you claiming. You trying to make this image, but it's not there. That image does not exist. And that's where I'm just like, this is why I didn't like Giselle from season 1, because I knew it was going to be some BS when they chose her for this show, because I said, she's not going to keep it all the way 100. You have not even kept it all the way 100 with them about how you really met Jamal. Right. The true backstory. There has nothing been about you that has been honest from day one. And Andy has, and it's like Monica said on the other live, Andy and Wendy Williams have gotten to a point where you have her production team. They do the research. They bring you the cue cards, and that's what you read from. You don't really know nothing about these people. It's all, they do all the work, and you just sit there. You're the face, but you just sit there. So, no, he didn't know the true backstory. Because if Andy knew the true backstory, I don't even think she would have been qualified for the show. Unless she was going to really tell the truth. And Giselle has not told the truth. She's lied. And my question is, how are you going to wrap this lie in a cute bow and close this out? Because now this has bursted out into a whole scandal.
Yeah, it's like I said, at this point for me, it's almost like poetic justice. They bargained for too much, and it's not paying off in their favor. I do always see people in the comments, and my biggest thing in life, period, y'all, is just honesty. If you are honest with your stuff, people will respect you and they will see you, because as humans, we all go through it. No one is above it. I'm not above it. But I also know what not to put on TV. I also know I do have a professional life. That's why I like coming on here and chatting with you all. People, the lawyers and people in my circle, half of them don't watch TV, let alone reality TV. And I'm just more of a layer person. I like different things. But I also know if I chose to put myself in certain circles, what all the ramifications are. And so Giselle and people like that tend to want the accolades. She wants the attention. She wants the invitations to the weddings, but then she wants to act like, oh, this is such a bad light for Black women. No, what you do every day, honestly, if we want to get technical about it, isn't a great look for Black women, but I also want them to take that moniker off of it. This is women, period. It has nothing to do with Black women. And I know your backstage is getting back up. The last thing I wanted to say,
you can stay on. I'm gonna add the bishop on with us. Hey, the bishop.
Hey, how you doing, Monica? How y'all doing, ladies?
Good.
How you doing?
Look at you with the good sound and light. I like that.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate that. I kind of want to come on here and talk about Pastor Holy Hoa. You know, that want to pretend like he's someone sanctimonious and righteous. It's annoying to me because I'm actually a real minister, that he's always said some scandal. I knew about him being in scandals before he was popular on, with the mainstream. And he was doing a bunch of foul stuff back then, like what Schoolboy was saying. She's from there. You know what I mean? She's from the area. And the thing is, what I don't like about Giselle, she ran him into the ground. So it gave everybody a right to go in on him, because she didn't want to set that stage and set it the way it was. So who Jamal really should be mad at is Giselle. She opened that door and kicked it down to where that was her storyline first season, saying all this other stuff. And when she was bringing on her for real guys that she were dating, they kept leaving her. Like what Monique said, you bring a man on this show every season because nobody really wants you. And it's sad and pathetic that you're doing this. And if you want to bring kids into it, your daughters don't even fool with you and him. Even her own daddy put her on blast and said, I don't know why she's doing this. This man has 6 or 7 baby mamas. And and the funny thing about it is when you interviewed his ex-girlfriend, she even said, I only hear about the 3 kids that's from Giselle. And what I'm starting to sneak a suspicion is that them 3 kids that he only parades around Giselle is because it's from a light-skinned woman. And that light-skinned woman, those kids don't look like him. They actually look more like the mom are in between of them. I'm starting to think that he don't want to show his other kids because they're darker and they look just like him, and he does not like the way he looks. That's what I'm thinking.
You
That's
might
why
have a
he
point.
brings Giselle around.
Yeah, you have a good point. I honestly think it's just to again preserve the image.
Mm-hmm.
Giselle technically was the only one he was married to. So
Mm-hmm.
those, I don't like words like this, but those
Right.
are the only children who are legitimate.
Yeah.
If you acknowledge publicly the
Mm-hmm.
others, then you publicly acknowledge your sin. You can't lie. You can't
Mm-hmm.
dance with words anymore. Right? We
Mm-hmm.
have articles. We see trails of court cases of especially the 4-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
But until he actually brings him and the rest out
Mm-hmm.
and says, these are mine, the people in the church can do the magical thinking that we do in the church sometimes. We can
Mm-hmm.
say it doesn't exist. They're all lying. They want to tear the man of God down.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all, I just can't do it. I grew up in Southern Baptist churches, and it has bothered me since I was a little girl how men could get in, and I'm saying men because women weren't always allowed in the pulpit, but
Mm-hmm.
people would know that pastor had first lady and got sister
Mm-hmm.
such and such over here, and would
Mm-hmm.
know it, and
Right.
still listen to this man tell them about fornication and adultery and all of these
Right.
things. You could never tell me about something that you in these streets doing. How can I
Mm-hmm.
learn from you?
Mm-hmm. That's why I got on my my grandpa. He was a pastor superintendent. I had uncles that were bishops. My dad is a pastor now. But he was the elder when I was a kid. And so they never had no scandals because they went to work, they went to church. They didn't have time to have no scandals because we was literally at church 7 days a week. Now we got a lot more wiser, and we told people they need to be more with their families instead of stuck in the 4 walls all the time. But we never had no scandals on none of our names. I'm 4 generations deep in my organization as a minister. Never had no scandal, never will have no scandal because we had self-control. We had discipline over our male genitalia. We wasn't around here running around this, that, and the third. And if you was involved in something, no one ever knew because you had your business as your personal business. Even when I date, it ain't none of nobody's business unless I bring around and I'm courting a woman and I'm courting her for a marriage. I've been engaged once and I was going to be engaged again, but I brought them around my church family. I brought around my friends. I brought around everyone, but we were not having sex with one another. But the thing about it is these dudes do not have no type of self-control. And these chicks, they see this from a mile away and they go after hunting after them because they like, this dude ain't got no discipline. Or if they do see a dude with discipline, they sit there and try to pick at you and see what you're going to do. But it's up to you as a man to open that door. If you open that door, then you're gonna accept them consequences. That's why people call what's her name? Giselle Jezebel.
Yeah.
Because she broke up the relationship
She
with
was a
him and his
side
first
piece.
wife.
She was a
Yeah,
side
she was a side piece.
Thank you. She was the side piece. She was the reason why his first wife left him. And right now, his oldest daughter does not speak to her father. So what kind of father are you? You're trying, this is my issue with that. I got an uncle right now, been married to his wife 40 years. He done slept with everybody in the town. Actually, 2 women actually still go to his church right now that my aunt knows he slept with. So this is, so this stuff like this, I understand and I get. What I don't respect is that the black church will still sit back and ignore it because of the checks and the money that's coming through new birth. And that's what it's going to come down to, because I don't believe, in my honest about you, I don't give a damn. I don't think they care about that morality cause. I think he
No,
will
they
still
don't.
be there as long as the
yeah.
money is coming in, because as long as he's got controversy in this scandal, people are going to go to that church for curiosity, just to sit in there
Right.
to see what's going on and to look at the situation. This has nothing to do with God. Now, this is just about man. That's the bad part about the entire thing. It's just being exposed in a bad way. Giselle is trifling too.
Yes, she is.
She's just trying
Yeah.
as him. You know, birds of a feather flock together. There's a reason why they're together and they deal with each other back and forth. But what's killing me is I'm reading these comments and y'all getting mad at, oh, well, the girl did, you know, Tanya, she didn't know better. She was a pastor. But y'all have to realize these people are human first. They got the same urges that me and you got when we see somebody. So whether she slept with the man or not, it's two willing participants that are grown. They both did it. Yes, is she? Y'all keep saying, "Oh, is she a woman scorned?" No, I think she's a woman that has healed from it and just wants the truth to be out there because she wants this black man to be held accountable. We want to say that black women should be protected, but when a black woman tell the truth, oh, she's scorned, she's this and she's that. Y'all got to make a decision on what you want, because this ain't Burger King. We all can't have it our way.
Right.
Well,
decide.
When I saw that interview, and I made it in my comment, my comment name is different than my name here. That's my real name. But I think how Tanya gets in front of that is she, again, in everything. If you tell your truth and you own it up front, no one can then come after you. So the truth up front looks like, yes, I had a illicit affair with Jamal Bryant for 8 years. We were outside the will of God. We had sex. I regret it. And now I'm trying to inform other women and his parishioners. Just like that. You did it at the door. The issue for me when I watched the interview, and I applauded Monica and this channel. It was great tea. I appreciated her candor, and I'm proud of her for standing up. The issue becomes, and why people call you a hypocrite, is that you're down. She was kind of downplaying what she did.
Yeah.
And then quoting scriptures and saying that the church needs to sit him down. I absolutely agree. The church needs to sit him down. However, if she's also a pastor and is over a church, she needs to be set down as well. We can't have it both ways. Right is right, wrong is wrong, and both parties need to be held accountable. Now, Jamal has a long history. There are plenty of receipts. I don't even see how Newburgh chose him. And it goes back to our people in our community, and it happens in other churches. Let's be clear. Of course, we've seen the Catholic scandals all over the place, but we have a tendency to take our eyes off of God and instead worship the man. There are people who go to the church just to hear. Jamal is a master wordsmith. He is a great orator. I will not take that away from him. However, his personal stuff takes away from his message and what he's supposed to do, which is supposed to be leading people to God.
Yeah.
Like, we as Black women, we mainly make up the congregation in the Black church, and we double talk all the time. People will say, well, he's just a man. You know, he's human. But then if once somebody calls him on it, well, watch your mouth. Don't you go against God's anointed. Well, girl, make up your mind. Is he human or is he the next coming of God?
And you know what the problem is with that?
Christians have to hold each other accountable. I'm sorry
to cut you off, but you know what the problem is? The problem is that we have set the ball rolling like that since slavery. It's slave religion, actually.
Amen.
It's not really Christianity. That's why we call it the Black church, because it's not really God's church. Right. It's been slave church since it's been like that. And this is why, I think the real problem is, I blame Jamal's parents. He's one of them kids that are PK kids that know how to do church, but don't have no personal relationship with God for real. Because when you have a personal relationship with God for real, you feel conviction in your own soul. This is why I said I don't sit here and try to throw off God on other people. I'm gonna show love and kindness. That way it can draw them wherever background people are from or whatever they do. I make sure they come to me and ask me questions. I don't shove it down their throat and then ask me, what keeps you sane? And I said, well, it's the goodness of God, and and it keeps my soul. And like what Schoolboy said, I'm human. I mess up, I make mistakes too. But the difference is I look in the mirror and I hold myself accountable before anybody else has to do it. I remember I messed up and I set myself down. I stopped talking and I said, no, other people can do whatever they want. They can preach. They can do whatever. I right now, I don't feel it. I really don't feel it. And the same thing my grandpa and my dad did. They used to sit people down. If we had a guest speaker and they had a bad background, they said, no, you can't come here because you're not going to contaminate the people.
Right.
And this is how they kept their reputation good. Don't let your good be evil spoken of. That's one of the scriptures. And Jamal let his good be evil spoken of everywhere he go, because everywhere he go, he can't control himself. And that's the problem. And then you have people like what you're saying, the women in the church will excuse what he does because that has been a tone set for it. They look at these men as God. No, I'm sorry, them dudes is not my God. I respect them as preachers and stuff like that. But when you loosey goosey out there like that, and she call you Pastor Holy Whore, I found that so funny. And I said, keep dragging that buffoon, because he needs to be dragged, because ain't nothing about him pastoral. There's nothing about him bishoply. There's nothing about him that I respect, because he don't even take care of his own kids. How you going to try to address the people in the house of God when you're worse than the infidel? And an infidel mean a person that's a non-believer. How you going to preach to them and you act worse than them? Because some of these infidels, they take care of their household. They take care of all their kids, whether or not be by the same woman or not. But this dude don't even claim the kids. He don't give a restaurant to 3 of his kids. What about the other 4?
Right.
What we going to do the other 4? My kids is my kids. What you doing?
Bishop, I don't mean to cut you off, but I just want to go back to a point that you made that I absolutely loved. When you talked about pastors and dating in the church, you're not really supposed to be dating like that. Like you said, when you're seeing a woman, you're courting her, and the intention is, you're going to make this one your wife. It's not like you're just going and like a single man and having sex with this woman and having sex with that one. As a matter of fact, as far as I know, in the Bible that I read, fornication is a sin. So
right,
can
it
you
is.
touch on that a little bit more, because you seem very educated, and I love the words that you're preaching. I love it.
I appreciate that. You're supposed to be courting. Matter of fact, Paul said you shouldn't lay your hands subtly on a woman like that. A lot of these dudes be hugging and bumping on the. I'm like, what in the world? You should be trying to get to know the woman, her mind, and what she's bringing to her. Of course, you're gonna see the outer appearance where you're attracted to her, because you're not gonna give her nobody that you ain't attracted to. But you're supposed to at least know where they stand. Is they a loving, caring woman? Do she carry herself respectfully? Is she gonna be a good mother to your future kids? And if she already have children, if she's good to the kids that she got, these are the characteristics you're looking for. But they don't. But these I don't know what's going on. Folks are just jumping in the bed and out of bed with anybody. And like what you were saying, the young lady as a lawyer, she was saying about how I enjoyed the interview too, but she brushed over her things, even though she admitted to it, but it was almost like a brush over. Like I'm trying to expose him. And she like, I was wrong too. But did you notice the same voice and tone she used, like Jamal, that soft tone, and it's professional? She sounded like a duplicate of him. That's a master manipulator. She needs to be set down too. If she was doing that for 8 years, fornicating, what was you teaching your people in your flock? You could never touch fornication if she's preaching. And if she did, she's a liar. Because she went to church trips for TD Jakes to get pastoral knowledge, and she was sharing a hotel room with him. I have never shared a hotel room with any of my girlfriends, even when we went on like youth trips. I have never did that, because I knew that was immoral and that was wrong on so many levels. And even if the thought came to the back of my mind, I'd be like, well, what would people think? What would I tell the other ministers and preachers that they'll see me in the seminar like, ain't y'all sharing a room? That lets you know what the climate is looking like, where anything goes. You could say whatever you wanted to say. You could do whatever you want to do. And I applaud Monique for that binder, though. That was the MVP moment. I'm telling you, I rewinded it, and I hear Robin talking about, well, what is the purpose of this? I'm like, Skid Row, sit down somewhere. Skid Row, ain't nobody talking to you. You knew what you did. Your girl is about to get the heat. And I love when Candace say this, even though I can't stand origami, Kleenex, Candace. But when she read that phone number off, she said, well, that's unfortunate. I cried. When she said that's unfortunate, she's like, dang, I can't even say nothing. She's like, yeah, that's Jamal's number. And let's talk about Giselle and Kenya. COVID has gotten them. COVID and got they like some bloated bullfrogs. I mean, when I seen Kenya, I said, "My God, what a year would do to you."
Oh Lord, yeah.
Same thing.
And they the
Same
most
thing I
messiest
said.
women on the franchise. The two is most messiest women, and for them to be coming at Portia and Monique, I like them too. Those are some around the way chicks that I love. I like women that keep it real like them too. They are relatable, and the fans love them because they can relate to those women. And the dudes that are, that like women, they can relate to the type of women that they like. Oh, I like women like that. They keep it real and they sweet. They good to their men when they're with their men. I said, man, I like that attitude. You know what I mean? But you get messy women like Giselle and Kenya that can't keep a man to save their life. Kenya the same way, a new man every season.
Oh my goodness.
Look, y'all know I love coming up with like products and stuff for these people to sell. This last episode of the reunion, look, Robin, Giselle, Candace, and they're gonna need those three. Their funds a little low. They're gonna need some assistance from Andy Cohen so he can be the product sponsor. But they were all spraying a perfume I like to call Audacity. Candace had the nerve to call Monique a victim. I'm like, what, girl? What? She made so many comments slick on the side. I couldn't deal with it. Robin had the nerve to say Karen's house was cozy.
What?
I'm like, Robin, really? No.
She living in a duplex.
Exactly. And you got the nerve to call somebody.
She one step away from Section 8. She need to stop.
Absolutely.
She needs Section 8. As much as she's sitting up there, her and Juan up in that come on, in that she live in Hanover. You don't even live near Potomac. Sit all the way
I was
down.
like, girl, you just trying to get in where you fit in, because T'Challa at this point has had more features on the reunion than you. They haven't even ran a package on Robin yet, and we at the last episode, y'all.
You know,
episode.
We bring nothing to the table.
It's over. Yeah.
You know why we forget about Robin? Because she's not memorable. Like literally, she kept inserting, and it didn't make any sense. So when she was inserting her ideas, even Ashley, like, she had no right to speak about my child. She's like, well, what you mean? And she kind of like froze and lost her train of thought. I like, this girl is stupid. Like what Karen said, she is a ditzy chick. And then Giselle, her wife, had to run in and say, do you have to call you called her a B word? And so, okay, well, I apologize, but she is ditzy.
She
like,
is.
come on now, let's be real.
All right, y'all. I want to
my
add.
bad.
That's okay, Bishop. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I want to add Tamara to the chat because she's been waiting for a really long time. Hey, Tamara.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm not going to stay long because I have a Christmas dinner, but I love this chat. I'm on the floor. I'm from Canada. I'm in Montreal. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
I just wanted to say one thing. Okay. I felt that Jamal was I saw his, rant on Instagram. He was so stupid. He was so stupid. The moment he went after Chris and started talking about CTE, which people know, well, not everybody, but that's only determined after death. It was clear that he hadn't consulted a lawyer before doing that matter, or consulted anybody that made any sense. And to go after Chris, a man who has 4 or 5 homes in Vienna with one baby mama, his wife, who doesn't have tons of child support to pay. If you are that dumb to go after somebody who has that much money, who is that fiscally responsible, who can tear you apart with lawyer fees, then you're just dumb. Like, Jamal he's been dumb and dumb and dumb. And that rant, his little, crybaby rant right there, he clearly was not thinking, as he does not do most of the time. So I totally believe they're going to go after him. And I'm sure the lawyers are like, yep. And also the binder, you know how Monique had the binder so organized? I'm sure like all that paperwork was like approved by lawyers. Yes, check, you can say that. Yeah, you can say that. That family looks prepared. Then they don't seem as messy as Jamal and Giselle, not even close. So that's my opinion. Jamal, I totally see like this lawsuit going forward. Totally.
Very well said. Thank you for calling in. Beautiful.
Thank you for having me, guys, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, honey. Join us after the day after Christmas. We'll be back here on Friday. And I want Ples to come back on, and Bishop and Schoolboy. And we're talking Real Housewives of Atlanta, Kenya Moore versus Portia. I mean, it's going down.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye, Lovey. Bye.
And I want to add to this. I see why Jamal has been mad with Monique and Chris, because the whole season he was living in Giselle's phone, and after the reunion, I found out he's so frustrated with them too, and it has nothing about her reading the receipts. It was the fact that he was living in that binder. You know what I mean? They forced him in that binder, and he was like, dang, like, you finally reading this stuff out. You finally let me loose for a moment. Now I got to make this live, this live IG. That dude, I found out he really do live in binders and phones, because we don't never see him nowhere except on the phone or a binder. That's it. He don't show up for Giselle
But
whatsoever.
he needs to be mad at his ex-wife. He needs to
Yes.
but he needs to redirect that energy to his ex-wife, because if she hadn't brought him into her storyline, your business wouldn't have been exposed, sir. So you need to be mad at your ex-wife for making you her an entire storyline for a year. And then the fact that your wife sat up in a confessional and said that the rumor was that Monique was cheating on her husband with the trainer, in which, ma'am, you have no proof over. You're going off of a friend who got mad at Monique, who has, I heard, a past longer than Diana Ross's weed, with some stuff too, but about her arrest and some more things about her. You ran with that lie. So you can't pick at somebody and then get mad at them when they get back at you and they pulled your card. You were just a casualty of war, sir. You need to sue your ex-wife.
Yes, have a seat, Pastor Holy Whore. Shout out to Marcella in the chat. Thank you so much for the super chat, and everyone that sent super chats in today. Thank y'all. I appreciate and love y'all so much. Thank you. I want to add Bernice to the chat. Hey, Lovey. Bernice.
Hey, Bernice.
Mrs. Bernice, before we start, I need you to check your DM. I sent you a DM yesterday.
Okay.
Please check it and respond, okay?
Okay. Hey, Ples. Hey, Bishop.
Hey, Bernice.
Hey, how you doing, Miss Bernice?
Hi, Bernice.
I grew up in the Baptist church, and when our pastor stepped out on the first lady and stuff like that, and he was removed. I can understand people don't want to. They looking at the image of what Jamal's supposed to represent, and they can't differentiate from who he is. So until they realize that he's not who he's projected to be, he's gonna still be the pastor. And their eyes are gonna have to be wide open and be able to clearly, well, he's not doing godly things. So I can't go to him for counsel if he's not doing godly things. So until they do that, he's gonna still be pastor. New Birth still gonna have them being pastor. I'm not gonna be worried about that. But Giselle, until she comes to terms with the hurt that he put on her, she's still gonna be Giselle. Until she comes to rectify with, I'm doing this because it's always a action to your reaction. I'm not doing this because I don't like you. I'm doing this because I don't like myself. I see qualities in you that I should have in myself. That's why she don't like Monique. Monique represents everything that she should be.
Right.
And crying Candace, when she decides to grow up, she'll be a better person.
Yes, she would.
Until she decides to grow up and everybody treat her like an adult and stop treating her like a baby, because they was getting on my last nerve last Sunday by steadily coddling her. Like Andy said, well, give her a moment and stuff like that. And Monique looking like,
right?
Like, come on now.
Yeah.
That's the reason why we haven't went anywhere. Because Y'all keep coddling her. Y'all keep coddling her. Y'all letting her talk and getting and turning the representation on to her. And yet y'all not listening to me. Hello, I'm over here. Okay. Come on now. Stop on one side. If fair is fair. When you go to court, the judge listen to both sides, and then he make up his decision. Y'all just listen to her. Y'all not listening to me. And I would have checked Andy punk ass too.
Thank you.
That's not no money. I'm sorry. We got money, boo. You was doing that slave master. Oh, this little penance I give you, you should be happy for.
Right there.
You better bow down and give me my credit. No, man.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And
Monique said, "This is what I do with your little check. I send out."
Right. I love this.
Oh my goodness! I was like, yes. No, you don't do that. You don't do that. You're not coming for me. No, I showed you. Like, And Andy looked like, oh no, she didn't. Like, yes, she did.
I love it.
Because they don't question any of the other franchises and their husbands and their source of income.
No. Did you call Luann when she got locked up by the police? Like, ooh, you got bail money, boo? Do you need us to send money down? You didn't call.
Didn't Reed have to bail her out?
No. Did you call Ramona or anybody? No. So come on now. No, that was totally not fair. That was totally not fair.
No, it wasn't.
No. So he definitely lost. He's on my shit list forever.
Yeah.
No. Because I don't even watch What Happens Live. Delete. I took it off my recording for my DVR. Like, nope. Nope.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm glad Monique did that.
Right.
Because
I'm
what she did, she retrained his mind. You don't talk to me like that. Just because you got some in your head. Yeah, as a black person, you don't assume that I don't have no money. That's it's like he don't make the same amount of money that he used to. And she's like, no, actually, he's a good investor. That's how a woman takes up for her man. That's a real keeper.
Yeah.
That's a help me right there. I was like, oh my God. Like, Moni, you win 10 more points with me, girl.
Monique and Chris are equally yoked. I mean,
they are.
the way they have each other's back and the way they truly love and support each other is a masterpiece in motion. I love to see
that's
it.
real love. And a lot of these people don't understand that. That's real love, and that's what a lot of people don't understand in the comments. People up there calling that man a bitch and all that. I said, no, that's a man that loves his wife, and that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to defend your wife and have your wife back. A lot of y'all are dysfunctional, and y'all haven't healed that hurt that's inside you, so you don't understand what unconditional love is. He gonna defend it, and that's a black man. Black men are already ostracized the way it is about not being there for their kids, and then you gonna go around and tell a lie that that's not my child. He had every damn right to say what he said. He had every right. And for people that don't understand that, you need to go seek help.
And
Chris, come on.
And Chris had kids with one woman.
Exactly.
What did Pastor Holy Whore have his kids with? Everybody outside.
We don't know. They're hidden. I mean, hide and go seek with his children.
They're hidden.
Peekaboo, I see you.
Are you under the bed? Are you in the closet? I mean, his kids all over the place. By the way, speaking of Monique, I just want to give a shout out to Monique's channel, Not for Lazy Moms, guys. She's on YouTube and she's premiering her video, Drag Queens, this Sunday. Please go subscribe to Monique's channel when we get off this live because I heard the video is fire. I mean,
I want to see that because when she debuted one of the looks on Watch What Happens Live, she was beat to the god. She looked like an African queen.
Yeah, she did.
She was an Egyptian goddess.
Yes, she did. But
all right, Miss
I
Bernice.
Ragdoll of Candace and drag her while she on that video. I'm traumatized.
Please don't. Candace already needs to be on Iyanla. We need one more season of Iyanla so Candace and Dorothy can get the help they need.
Iyanla could fix that. Iyanla can't even fix that. No.
Really?
No.
This is really Candace's problem. That's why That's why she's so upset with Karen. She want Karen to be her mama.
Yeah.
Girl, Karen is an elder who was trying to mentor you. She's not your mama. In fact, she's doing a better job than your mama because that's your problem. Your mama ain't never held you accountable. Your mama bitter and angry too, like she was when you wanted to invite your own sister and brother to a wedding and 30 years later. That's how Candace is. When people are like, Candace just needs to let it go. She can't let it go. She don't know how. She watched somebody hold a grudge for 40 years.
reality show mama? What other reality show mama does that remind you of? Evelyn Braxton? Excuse
Exactly.
me. That's not what we're talking about right now.
Yeah. All right, Miss Bernice, thank you so much for calling in. Again, please check your DMs and respond to me. It's time critical.
Okay, I'll do that.
Merry
now.
Christmas, okay?
Bye-bye.
Love you, Miss Bernice.
Bye.
Bye.
I want to bring on Tyler. He's been waiting a long time. Hi, Tyler.
Hi, how are you?
Sorry. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Well, first of all, I want to say this. I'm not gonna body shame any women, Bishop. I was a little upset about you body shaming them, talking about their body. I don't like to do that with black
I'm a
women.
big dude. I love big women. What you talking about?
Yeah, their bodies fluctuate. Though when you said King and them
Yeah.
are bloated and all that, women's body fluctuate. It happens.
But you know why I
But-
said that? Let me clarify that. I don't want nobody to feel in any type of way. I said that because they always pride themselves looking better. I'm the baddest chick in the room. And then they sit there and talk about Portia's body like Nene and them did. But I'm looking like, what? She still look good. What are you talking about? But you can't talk about other people and don't expect to be talked about.
I agree.
You know what I
I
mean?
agree. Well,
Yeah.
I want to speak on this with the casting of Potomac. That's one thing that I wanted to touch on. I feel that one of the major reasons why Atlanta is not where it used to be is because Andy Cohen really never allowed each storyline to finish. An example, Phaedra Parks. When that situation happened with her and Candy, they should have been allowed another season to see if they were going to make up, end it, or whatever. But he just immediately fired Phaedra, let her go. Okay, with this last situation with Eva, Nene, and all them, that was a perfect setup for another season. And then Nene can exit. Cynthia got married, she can exit, and then you bring in new girls. I feel with the black cast, he never allows them to finish out a storyline. He just ushers in new girls and ruins it. With Potomac, I do not care for Robin, and I do not care for Giselle. I don't. I really don't. However, I feel with this current thing that's going on, allow them one more season to see where this storyline is going to go and then do your firing. Because it's like either we're going to be like, I'm tired of them arguing and they're still doing this, they got to go, or we see some resolve and, still get rid of who you need to get rid of. But I just feel like, please, for once, allow a storyline to complete before we go in and mess it up. Because that's the real reason why Atlanta is messed up, because they immediately try to replace as soon as friendships start to form and become somewhat organic, they immediately fire. And it's like, wow, we just got used to these girls. Let's complete this storyline. Let's not easily end it. But as far as Jamal Bryant goes, he really should have shut the hell up, because you did not make yourself look good. You didn't make Giselle look good. I wouldn't have said anything. Hell, Giselle didn't say anything. She said, yeah, that's his number, and sat there. And if Giselle was smart, I would have started crying like I was shocked. Oh my God, he's doing me dirty. Like, girl, you should have pulled out, you should have grabbed that tissue from Candace and put it in the crease of your eye. I mean, because it's like I would have at least played victim. But I am interested for the next season. I really want them to I feel I want Giselle to be nailed to the cross from Candace, first of all, because I feel that Monique and Candace can possibly make up only if Candace truly listens to the fact that, because if you pay attention at the reunion, Monique really did not want to go there with Candace. Her fire was with Giselle. And I feel that if Candace would get stuck, because it's not Monique. Monique is kind of like, I don't deal with you, but I'm not going to sit up here with this fake crime. But I feel if Candace came to Monique and really wanted to have a conversation, they could resolve that and they could get on Giselle's ass like it needs to be done. Then you do the firing. That's
Right.
what I would
Right.
love to see. That I want to see accountability before they do the firings. That's all.
Yep. I agree with you. Very well said, Tyler. Thank you for calling in, and you have a Merry Christmas, love.
You too. Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Oh, shoot. Did I get rid of Schoolboy? Oh, here she go. Okay.
No, I'm
Sorry
here.
about
Oh.
that. Okay. Let me add Melissa to the chat. Hey, Melissa.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
I
Hi,
just
Melissa.
I just want to add to the conversation. What do you think about her admitting to having oral sex with this man before they left to go to Portugal?
Oh, disgusting. I mean, who would oral sex, community peen, STD? Ooh, child, no. Ooh.
Isn't that a form of
passed
something to
fornication?
somebody at some point.
It is a form of fornication. Y'all, I honestly think,
It is.
except for the fact that I think Giselle is too vain to really mastermind this, I'm actually starting to think she did this on purpose. Like, I think she holds some resentment against this man, and maybe she brought him on so that all this would happen. I would hate it that she would do that to her children, and I think she's too vain to quarterback it like that. But I'm starting to think it is on purpose.
I think
It's a mess. And you can see all of that in her neck.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
What's going on with that neck? Well, she said she the baddest one on the. What's her little tagline? How she bad and all that.
That's that Creole
She
coming out.
tape up the neck. She could tape up that neck and stop giving oral sex to the holy whore.
I don't
Sit
believe
down
she's doing
somewhere.
that. She's too prim and proper to give head. I'm sorry. Excuse my language. She's
That's
too prim and proper for that. I don't believe she does
But
that.
she
Now
admitted
she
it. She
probably
admitted
give
it on
prim
the
and proper
show.
head. That's the problem.
She admitted on the show. So does the church people know about that? Do church
And why
people know
did we
about
need to do
that?
that?
We didn't need to know.
You know, she was capping, really. She was really trying to cap to say that she was really in a relationship. She
Thank
didn't.
you.
I agree with Schoolboy. She didn't do it, but I also agree with Melissa about it, because just for you, the fact you just said it, it made
That's
you look
right.
stupid. And even though you didn't do it, you stupid to even say that, because now that this all came out, even if you did or you didn't do it, either way, you look crazy on both sides, because you
And then they were
went
going
down on
after
do that
Karen.
slept with
They were going
everybody.
after Karen for Karen said that she has retired that. They were going after her for telling the truth. That she has retired, that she don't do that no more.
Yep.
But
I
you
don't
got
think she did it. I just think she made that all up. I think he gave her the tip maybe one time, just the tip, and that was it.
Come on, put your head down a little lower.
That was it.
I'm gonna
And
say a little prayer for you. Go there. Go
bow
ahead.
heads, right?
Lay hands and give head. Lay hands, give head.
But you
Lay
don't
hands,
see
give
any
head.
sexual chemistry with them. When you see
At all.
you don't see no kind of sexual chemistry.
No.
It's like
Laying
looking at
hands
Jada
and
and
giving
Will
head.
on Red Table Talk. When Jada and Will was sitting up there talking on Red Table Talk, I was like, they ain't having sex. They ain't no way they having sex. Look how they kicking it. I mean,
Yeah.
it was like, okay, if I'm kicking it with my baby mama and I'm doing this scene, my damn kids is uncomfortable because they can't stand my ass. And we're doing this scene. When is the scene over with? And cut. Did you get enough? Okay.
Right.
And he looked so uncomfortable.
I mean,
when she was driving him back to the airport, he
Right.
was so
like he was
uncomfortable.
mad.
Yeah. You're like, why'd you pick me up? I was gonna take Uber. I need you to do this scene with me.
And then they hug like friends, like they giving each other dap instead of
That was
hugging.
a church hug. That wasn't even a freaking hug. That was a church
Now,
hug.
if that was your man, you would be kissing him. But
And
he
your
did, like-
ex-husband.
Yeah.
Y'all want, your chemistry still should be there. If you saying, "Oh, you rekindled," I apologize. I done seen exes that were completely broke for 20 years. They still hugging on each other and stuff like that. And she's like, "Oh, you better stop, boy." You know, it's stuff like that where it's like fun and they going back and forth. Even though that they don't want each other anymore, it's still that chemistry that y'all made 3 kids. I'm sorry, y'all was getting it on. Come on now. Let's stop playing games. Folks want to play like we stupid. Well, we ain't stupid. She's still mad at him.
I mean, she wrote the book about him.
She was crying.
The book that she wrote.
Well, she was
That
crying
book
in
was
that
about
scene
him.
with Cal, the hairstylist, when he
Yeah.
said that.
when he said, "Are you really over it, Giselle?" And she broke down. I said, "Well, you not over it, boo. What
Yeah.
are y'all doing? Who are y'all
Now
lying
those are
to?
real
Y'all lying
tears.
to me, you, and all of America." Those was
Mhm.
real tears. She is still bitter about that. She
Yeah.
is bitter about that. And she just, I mean, when you just admit it that you're bitter, he left
Mhm.
you. But the old saying goes, the same way you get him is the same way you lose him. Then you get him.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Because every time she comes with Cal breaks her down like a fraction.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
That's how I know those are real scenes. Because you remember that time she's getting her hair washed and she started
Yep.
crying? I was
Yes.
like, that's real.
I
I was
think, was that
like,
about
Giselle, be
Sherman?
real.
That was about Sherman, right? She was crying over Sherman.
Yeah, she was crying about Sherman.
Another
And her
fake
girls
relationship.
really liked Sherman.
Yeah.
That was a fake relationship.
But her girls really liked Sherman. So that was kind of sad.
Yeah.
But it's also something with Giselle too. You have to realize it's pain. It's pain attaches to pain. They have a common pain, and so there's a reason why he's able to attach to women like this. So my thing is, what is Giselle dealing with within herself that she keeps attracting men that will not stay with her? There's something about her that she needs fixed too. Because a man could be all ever so good to you, treat you right, but if you're not in a place to accept the love, then it ain't gonna work.
Right.
With her too.
Yeah.
They got that spirit on them. They need to really get that fixed. Fix your heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chelsea said she's another Kenya. Absolutely. Manless.
Yes. Have a
Pothole,
different man
pothole
every
face.
reunion.
And
Manless, pothole face, broken inside, and don't nobody like you. They don't have no real friends around them. Cal is not even Giselle's real friend. Do you see how he sends her out the house? Do you see her ponytail?
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Yes.
I mean, that's not a real friend. And you call yourself a stylist?
And then look like he got that from one
Rob
of
is her
Beyonce
wife.
old tours. I don't know where they got that hair from.
They're
Her
beautiful
hair,
women too. Which is
her
crazy.
clothes,
everything.
that neck.
They embarrass all of Baltimore. That's what upsets me. Because we don't dress like that in Baltimore. We dress to the nines and we are coordinated. They embarrass Baltimore and the DMV area when they get on TV looking like that. It really upsets me. Okay, to my core. Okay, like Mimi said, my core. It upsets me that y'all sit up here with all these designer pieces and you can't put it together right. Well,
She looking like Mary from Salt Lake City.
Yes.
Oh,
all them name brands and you can't color coordinate.
And Mary's a hot mess.
But I think that's just them wanting to be seen. They don't want it. And I like a good sparkle myself, but I think Giselle just took that too far. She's like a little girl who wants to get dressed up. Everything got to have a sequin or a rhinestone on it, baby. Everything.
That neck ain't a little girl, though. That neck ain't a little girl. That neck is a grown, hard woman.
I'm glad Karen got her together for that because Karen said, I'm 57, you 50. I said, I'm like, I thought you were 45. And I'm like, you only 7 years younger. That is your big sister, 7 year different. My older
Karen
sister is 7 years
flawless this season. Karen has
different.
got it going on this season.
She didn't talk to her doctor.
I know. And her stylist.
And a style, like Candace said, I would love to see you with a stylist just for one day.
Her and Mary from Salt Lake.
I don't like Candace, but Candace has been coming with a little shade at the reunion.
She do.
You know,
She
even
has,
when
she said,
Giselle said that phone number was hers. Candace was like, well, that's unfortunate.
That's unfortunate.
And you see how Wendy, Wendy was capping for a minute. Then Wendy sat back and said, "Ooh, let me get up out of this right here. Let me sit back."
This is Wendy when Candace talked to her. She been one to say that. Wendy like, I ain't saying nothing.
I know she like,
get away from me, girl. I don't know.
Wendy is trying to toe the line so much, y'all. After that, Watch What Happens Live after the last episode, she wasn't making any alliances. She got her hair together. I will say that about Miss Wendy, baby. Miss Wendy learned quick. She was like, y'all not gonna keep reading me about these Jermaine Jackson, Eddie Munster sideburns.
I think also Wendy's mom probably told her some stuff too.
And
I think Wendy's mom probably got in her ear too, especially with that friendship with Candace. Because that is not a good look to be aligning yourself with that.
It's not.
Especially if you're trying to say you educated.
Yeah,
exactly. And let's be real, y'all. Giselle would not create an allyship with Wendy if it were not for Alpha
Right.
Kappa Alpha Sorority
Thank you.
Incorporated. She
yeah,
tried to sit there and say, "Oh, Karen said you weren't a good look, girl. If the girl wasn't an AKA, you would say the same
Same
thing. You have
thing.
Right.
never
but
liked
y'all
a new
know,
person, Giselle. Never liked a new person.
right?
I
I
see you."
know.
Pledge, but you know deep down, even if it wasn't for this show, Giselle would not be associating with Wendy because she's an AKA. AKAs have been historically known to have that colorism thing going on. And I fully believe in my
Yep.
heart, if it wasn't for this show, Giselle and Robin would be paying Miss 4th-degree Wendy's dust.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. But I'm saying for
Yeah.
her to try to act like, oh, I love her. I always wanted her here. It was Karen who didn't. No, she knew she could not be on national television
Yes.
treating a soror in that way. I'm in a sorority as well. I won't say which one, but at the end of the day, we are all women. Like they try to say
Yep.
about the pastor, they human. So we're all women. We're all human. You can be on the same line, and you got your favorites, and you got your least favorites. You just don't show it in public. You do it in the words of what's Miss Jackie, Dr. Jackie on Married to Medicine. You have your good lemon squeeze and you get it out. But
Yes.
that's the only reason why Giselle welcomed Wendy with open arms. If it were not for that connection, her degrees, the the floozy commentator,
I
whatever,
know.
she wouldn't
Just
mess
outright
with
lied.
Yeah.
Hey,
I can't stand a liar. I cannot stand a
Yeah.
liar.
Yeah, because you don't know which way they're gonna blow, because they can
Right,
blow your way or
right.
blow that way. And that's why I wanted to point out, I'm glad y'all pointed out, I don't believe Robin's a colorist until she gets around Giselle. Now Giselle is a colorist because she makes these statements like, me and Robin are so good friends, with light skinned with green eyes. Why do you need to point out you're light skinned?
right.
What was the point of
Yes,
that?
I picked up on that.
Aren't you still black? She kept saying, Katie, you know what I mean? You're black. You're black. No, Katie's in touch with both her sides.
Right.
Unlike you, she said, I don't keep pointing out now I'm black because I know I'm black. And Katie has a dark-skinned mother, so she knows that. So why would you want to keep saying, we're light-skinned with green eyes? A person I know that's not colors, they don't care. They'll just say, oh, that's a beautiful woman. Oh, that's a handsome man. Oh, when you have to keep pointing out the skin tone, that lets you know you got a hang up about that, because she's just like Kenya. Both of them are beautiful women, but they don't like themselves.
Right.
And it shows.
Hey, Prince, how you doing?
I'm back.
What's good?
Melissa, I'm gonna put you in the backstage, but I'll bring you back, okay? So hang out for a little bit. Hey.
But guys, remember also, my dad is a pastor.
Okay.
And my dad have to act a certain way. When he's home, you always say, anything you preach, you have to walk in that same footsteps. And everything my dad does at home is the same thing he does on the street and in church. Because at the end of the day, you're a mentor for younger girls, boys, everyone around you. Who is Jamal mentoring? He's no example for his little girls, because he's saying that, oh, your future husband can cheat on you, be with a million guys out there, just like what I did to your mom, and nothing is wrong about it. And she's like, we're working on things now. She's lying. Remember when Andy asked her the question, when you left Cynthia's wedding early, what did you do? Her answer was she went back to the hotel. To do what? Allegedly, she saw Jamal. Where was Jamal? Baltimore. Baltimore. So she keep lying layer after layer after layer.
Yeah.
Messy, messy, messy. I'm annoyed with her mess now. It's like, you can have fun shade. Nothing is wrong with fun shade. But I'm tired of her mess. She's a beautiful woman. She can do better. I definitely think she can do better. With her dressing, I don't know. She shop at the dollar store? Because a girl, she can't afford it because she can't finish her damn house.
You're right.
So she's at the dollar store shopping and trying to mix and blend stuff, which is ridiculous. I'm just over her dressing too. And I think if Giselle leave the show, Robin would be a better person.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
She would.
She will
I
be.
can see that because
You can tell she's different when she's not there.
Yeah, she's a good person.
Mm-hmm.
she would be definitely different.
Mm-hmm. And Giselle need to watch. I mean, Robin need to watch out for Giselle. She probably tried to swoop and still won. It's a battle between Michael Darby and Giselle. And every time she fixing up her hair and like she getting, I'm like, nah, you need to watch her. I'm sorry, just for shop for the ring, I'll say thank you as a friend, but don't call him no more.
Sweetie,
Yeah,
Lose
Jamal,
her.
I mean,
for the
Juwan
ring.
ain't got Juwan don't even have the money that Giselle is looking for. So Juwan wouldn't even be in the league, okay? He ain't got the coin.
But
He ain't
sexual
even got the
chemistry,
coin.
chemistry don't matter about money. When you really got some, you vibing with somebody. If I take off the minister's hat, if I'm vibing with someone, I would. I'm like, okay, but the self-control will kick in. But again, you know, one has been known for
I
getting
know
it in
Giselle.
too.
She's about that coin. She's about that
Allegedly.
coin. Giselle is about that money. Juan does not have that money. Okay, Juan was not in the league 10 years, so he don't get a pension from the NBA. That's another reason why he bitter at Robin for screwing over their money. He don't get no pension. That's not the NFL. So he had that injury and she told him up. He didn't make 10 years of being in the NBA. He doesn't have a pension. So, I mean, and I also think that their relationship is a codependency because he feels like if he gets rid of Robin, then he won't have a connection to a family because his parents are dead and gone. So I really believe that's just a codependency thing. But that he don't look like he wants to be with her either. He getting some side coochie too somewhere.
I want to know what's in that
He probably
binder
want to
about
be
that.
with his girlfriend. He probably want to
I
be with
think
his
when
girlfriend for the
once those
holidays.
kids, I think once those kids get to be 18, he's gonna leave. But I do feel like he's only there out of obligation because he does feel indebted to her and her family. There's no saying what we already talked about with like Giselle and Jamal. There's no true chemistry there. They are like roommates and people co-parents who are raising children, which I applaud because we need strong children with two-parent households, but only if they see healthy relationships. And if they can't see a healthy relationship, then just be good co-parents. But I really don't think he's attracted to her in that way.
I don't think so either. All right, y'all. I think we should wrap this up because I know tomorrow it's Christmas Eve and people out there still finishing up their shopping.
Oh, thank God. That's
Merry Christmas, everyone. I hope you have a fantastic one. I'll be at work. But Merry Christmas.
Oh,
enjoy.
Merry Christmas to you
Merry
too.
Christmas to you, man.
I'm sorry you have to work, but try to enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm just connecting families, so it's gonna be great.
Okay,
That's
that's so
what's up.
sweet. Thank you, Prince.
Have a good one.
Bye, bye, love. All right, y'all. I really appreciate y'all hopping on with me today, going through this cease and desist, dissecting Pastor Holy Whores. I wouldn't even call what he sent Monique and Chris a cease and desist. Really and truly, a 5-year-old could have put that together. It was just really pathetic. Clearly, he's not taking anything in that cease and desist seriously. You know, if he didn't have an attorney put it together. But let's see how this plays out. I mean, the deadline, I believe, was today. And has anyone heard from him issuing an apology? I haven't seen
I
anything.
ain't seen nothing.
Nothing. Crickets, right? So let's see what happens. Let's get back. Let's come back on Friday and we'll meet up again, maybe around the same time. Yeah, 3 p.m. Eastern. And we'll see what happens then, because I'm really excited to see what he does, what his next move is going to be, because he really feels in his head that he's untouchable.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He does.
And Monique and Chris said, hell no, you've been touched. They not playing no games. No, you didn't, Bishop.
You've been doing that the whole time.
I'm telling you, this is what Jamal gonna be doing on the next video. I'd like to apologize to Candace and Monique and Chris for doing that to them. I placed all the blame on my ex-wife. She told me this was going on, and I had to bring my binder. And even though y'all called me on my binder's upside down, I apologize. I'm telling y'all, him and Candace is gonna be together trying to console one another.
Never. That man will be set on fire first before he apologized. He's too proud.
Well, if
Yeah,
he want that check, he gonna blame her. He's too prideful to admit that he did wrong, but he gonna throw it off somebody like he did with his ex-girlfriend.
He should. I mean, he told blatant lies about her
Yeah, he told
too.
lies.
I interviewed her earlier this week on Tuesday. If you haven't seen that interview, it's lit. I mean, she really broke their relationship down and spilled all kinds of secrets about Pastor Holy Horse. So go check that out. But I want y'all to stay safe and be blessed this holiday. Merry Christmas to every single one of y'all. Y'all know I love you, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
We'll
love
be
you
too.
To you
Y'all.
Nothing but love, man.
Nothing but love. We'll be back Friday, same time, same place. I'll put out a link. Follow me on Instagram because I advertise when I'm going live. And Monday's show is gonna be fire. So that's part 3. 90 minutes.
Oh,
90 minutes. Should we do a pre-recap on Sunday? Let me know in the comment section. Comment down below. Let me know if I should do a pre-game. We're gonna call it a pre-game preview from Monday's show with Richie, Buffy, Monique, and Amir. All right, y'all.
That's gonna be lit.
It's gonna be fire. It's gonna be fire. And again, don't forget to go over to Monique's channel, Not for Lazy Moms on YouTube. Subscribe to her channel because she's dropping her video premiere. And like I've seen, a little clip, bits and pieces of behind the scenes. She's been posting photos and she looks amazing, like an Egyptian goddess. Amazing. And Riley Knox was the designer on set. And she don't play around. She is fired. Her designs are no joke. She designed Monique's reunion gown. All right, y'all. Love y'all. Stay safe and be blessed. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.